Oh, wait, they can't hear you because I changed my headphones. Hold on.
We can hear you.
No, they can't hear you. I'm using a different headset.
He has not once been talking
There
to
we
us.
go. Whoa,
Is he not?
really loud?
Oh, okay.
I'm talking to y'all. I was talking to y'all.
Now.
You know, I was talking to y'all to let y'all know that I needed y'all to speak up because
you've altered things again.
No, I just had to get a different set of headphones this morning because my current ones are dead. Not new. Not new. It's just my wireless ones I forgot to charge and they're dead, so I had to plug in a set and I forgot to change the source. So shut your freaking pie hole. Squirrel! What's up, Donnie boy? Ranarcolanta. Sounds like Bungie will eventually call that illegal assistive software. So that's my favorite whole system. No, this isn't assistive software. This is just some monitor resizing software, dude. It's not assisting me. Now, the bright fluorescent pink crosshairs in the middle of my screen is absolutely assistive software.
Respawn getting banned in 3, 2, 1.
All it does is put a crosshair over my crosshair. That's all it does.
You're a crosshair.
No, you're a crosshair.
We're all crosshairs.
Yes, we are. But no, because the crosshairs, we have none of them, no matter what color or anything like that, fit. Like, my eyes keep getting lost. So I just put a bright fluorescent pink, does not blend into anything except Peroty in the background, crosshairs, and I'm fine now.
It's the perfect system. This is why I dress how I dress, so I can never be lost in the field of battle. There will be no friendly fire. You can never say, "Oh, I didn't see you there." Lies.
But the thing about it is my
I see. Yeah.
matches your bright fluorescent pink armor.
Mm-hmm.
So my
crosshairs
costumes disappear if I'm looking at you.
Yeah, see, it's a perfect crime,
right?
Also, can I just say that the Stormtrooper shader, the Stormtrooper armor takes every shader beautifully.
Oh, yes, it does.
Beautiful polished metal. Oh my god, I was a little upset because again, as a Titan, I still have no fabric, so I can't put any fabric on anything. But that beautiful polish. I sat for a while yesterday just changing shaders because they all look amazing.
Are you all look good right now? It doesn't even look like the Stormtrooper.
Well, but you look like Captain Phasma. Captain Phasma has the shiny outfit, doesn't he?
No, he's not wearing the Stormtrooper. He's wearing the.
I just switched to a Warlock, so I'm
Blasphemy.
on.
Blasphemy.
The Chroma Cloak Glare. He's wearing that.
Okay. Well, hold on. Well, since you're going to call me out like this, give me a second.
Absolutely, I'm gonna call you out. I'm staring right at you.
Well, someone just said, "Hey, change characters so we can go run another thing, and then we can go get more things." So here. Let me go back to this now. Picture this.
Uh-huh.
You're in the Nether, and you're like, okay, I'm having a lovely day. I'm here in the Nether, and then all of a sudden, a fire team comes in, and what is that fire team dressed like? They're dressed exactly like what you're about to see. The only difference is 2 of them are wearing the Heart of Immos Light, so they can be running Plunder's new build. But we're all dressed like this, running the emote of shooting and changing the guns.
Also, Renard is asking, why is he dressed in flannel? And to that, I respond, sir, why not?
Because the Highlander shader looks incredible on the Warlock. You can give him pajamas. It's amazing. I'm sad that I don't have pajamas on the Titan. That's the problem. I need the Titan pajamas. The Highlander shader, and there's another one that's more of a red flannel that I can't remember the name of offhand. Incredible on the Warlock. Titan doesn't do it for me.
My God, you're pink. Okay. That is ridiculously pink. Oh my God. What is this?
This is Dawn and Dusk, my friend.
You have an emote for your dude? Hold on.
Oh, of course I do. I have the one true emote, the best one you can have as a Stormtrooper. Obviously,
it immediately kicks me out when I try to do it. What the hell?
Well, because you're dressed poorly. What's wrong with you? You're not part of the Empire. You're rebel scum.
It's legit kicking me out as soon as we start.
Because you're rebel scum. That's why.
Yeah. Oh, get out of here! All right, change your character so we can go help whatever Blue wanted.
Rebel scum.
I like
if I could shoot you, I would.
I'm gonna roll the titles.
Title rolling.
Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast. dedicated in bringing you all the latest information, news, and opinions. This is the best show for new and veteran Guardians alike, where we share tips, tricks, and tools to help you succeed and enjoy playing even more. So with all that said, let me hand you over to your hosts, the Triumph Hunting Titan Night Demon, the pink-panted pansy Peroty, and your Hunter Master Rager, Mr. No One Respawns in Real Life!
I was pressured into / wanted to be a Stormtrooper. The other two I don't care about, but the Stormtrooper, it just looks beautiful, and it takes every shader. It's incredible.
Pressured. You were pressured into being a Stormtrooper?
There's one... Well, I spent very little money with Bungie on Silver, but now I'm like, I'm starting to scroll through the pages.
And pressured you. I see.
And it's not even the Star Wars, because I honestly don't care about Star Wars that much. Because really my overall ambition is to have a Stormtrooper Doki Doki character, because I want to mix the two, partially because I know it'll make somebody out there mad, which brings me great joy.
Yeah, me.
And partially because I can. I'm just here for the fashion. I'm not here for the weapons. I'm not here for the armor drops. I'm just here for the ridiculous fashion game.
I agree with the Titans having to be that particular Stormtrooper, but at the same time, Titans do punch quite well to their credit.
Anymore. Nope.
And I've never seen those Stormtroopers punch anything. So...
Well, we don't punch and we don't shoot. It's a perfect crime. You can no longer accuse me of being bad at anything.
So what do? Are you just cannon fodder now?
No, I'm the man I'm the man who throws up a wall and rains down lightning, and then we're good.
I've never seen Stormtroopers do that either. You can't do that either.
Oh, these are special Stormtroopers.
They're definitely special, but I don't think it's the term that you're thinking of.
These are the colorful Stormtroopers.
Anyway, now that we are very, very slimly covering Destiny stuff.
No, this is 100% Destiny stuff, because you can tell me other things were announced and there was content. No. There's been nothing but people playing with lightsabers in the tower. That's it. Period. Full stop.
You get lightsabers?
The emote. Have you not seen the emote?
No.
Not emote. Yeah, it's an emote. Yeah.
I thought it was like a skin you could get for legendary swords, just like a lightsaber.
Not yet. Wait
true.
Until Bungie start counting the receipts at the end of this month to go, we should have done Star Wars a long time ago.
It just depends on how much of this they have to give back to Lucasfilms and Disney. Is it worth it?
I think it's worth it.
Disney's like, you guys are a rounding error to us.
Oh, yeah, hello. Exactly. By the way, I'm Night Demon. Respawn and Peroty here.
I'm Respawn and Peroty.
I'm Peroty. I bought Star Wars things purely to make them look ridiculous, and the Stormtrooper emote where they're shooting and switch guns will just go on forever. They'll just keep shooting and keep switching guns, which is hilarious.
Yeah, I logged in and I went to the page to buy my Stormtrooper and my Warlock and my Hunter things, and then I was met by emotes and finishers and a ship, a sparrow, and a ghost shell, and I was like, I cannot afford all of you. There is a priority. There is a priority of a Stormtrooper, so I will get you. And then my second priority was the ship, the sparrow, and the ghost shell. And they are on permanently now. That's it. Every single outfit that my Stormtrooper owns is Stormtrooper in just different colours. And I got very upset when I was playing with Respawn yesterday that I had to take it off. Well, I didn't have to take it off to put the insurmountable Skullfort on.
You didn't have to.
As soon as I took it off, I wasn't a Stormtrooper, but it was really annoying.
He was very upset. Like, he made a whole thing out of it before we even started. It's like, Respawn, look at me. Look how awful. I mean, he was...
Yeah.
Why can't I put an ornament on for PvE activities? It doesn't matter. You're ruining my fashion game, Bungie.
Yeah.
And you're making us sad.
Yeah.
But I was like, I asked him, can you make the insurmountable Skullfort also white? Because then it might match. Yeah, you might have like a light show on your face, but it should match at least.
It matches, but that's not what I'm saying. I wasn't a Stormtrooper at that point. I need the helmet on.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say honestly, the helmet kind of is the Stormtrooper. You could pretty much swap out the rest of it and just have the helmet on, and you're still a Stormtrooper.
Yeah, I've swapped out chest pieces and gauntlets, and I'm still a Stormtrooper. My strongholds look pretty good on it, and my chest piece, I used the Curious of the Falling Star when we was doing some Vault of Glass farming the other day, and changed it to be white, so I blended in. It's just, it all works.
Perfect.
I said hi, Don. Good Lord.
See, Destiny has really shot themselves in the foot with this, though, because once everyone buy the Star Wars and never takes it off, why sell anything else? Or you're going to have to top it. We're going to have to get more things.
Well, no, there are other fan bases out there, and I think people will still buy other things. Probably not as much as this. I mean, I could just be biased because when I was listening to a couple of other podcasts this week, some people actually.
I don't buy it.
No, not me, but But other podcasts were saying how much they liked it, and then others were really loathing the fact that it was a Star Wars collaboration and how much it detracts from actually being Destiny. But I think we've moved away from that a very long time ago when we had Eververse and there was all these skepticisms about what was going to come into Eververse, and then we had the collaborations and the crossovers, and it was like, we've gone down this path, we're not turning back. It makes money, and if it funds something, then good. If it gives the studio more revenue to add more people to the game, I'm all for it. But you're just going to have to keep continually giving me Star Wars things to buy. But you're going to have to wait for my next paycheck because I can't afford anything else at the moment. I could only afford a little bit at the moment. It was either that or food on the table for the kids, and I was really tempted.
Really. I mean, do they all need to eat every day? Right? Every day? You sure?
Well, no, that's what I was thinking. Just if I just chuck them a bag of crisps or something every couple of days and a few biscuits, and they've got water in the tap, it's fine.
See, here's the thing: you could toss them some food and then film it and then monetize it, and then you're actually making content off of it. So then it's just that'll help you feed the family. It'll just feed back into itself.
He's not wrong, though.
He's not. No,
he's really not. The man is spitting facts right now.
But thank you, Bungie. Thank you for adding Star Wars. Just at some point, I will get around to buying the other 2 outfits for my other characters. But I don't know if I'll be playing those other characters until I can get them. So.
No, I don't think you are. I think at this point you're like, why? Now I'm going to laugh really, really hard if their next drop in like a month or something is Star Trek, because clearly you have to. The gauntlet's been thrown, Bungie. Get Paramount on the phone. Talk to the Roddenberry estate. Let's make this happen. I need my tricorders. We basically already have a teleporter emote. We're part of the way there. I need to put people in red shirts, line them up, and send them off to their death somewhere far away. And then go, we lost them. Not our problem.
That's pretty hard.
But what would you have for the cosmetics? Would you all be Borg, or would you have various different races?
I would be Borg, 100%.
Ooh.
What would you pick? What would be your go-to for each class? Or would we all just be Borgs, just in different shirts, maybe?
I'd like the ability to be a Star Trek, basically a Picard Locutus situation, where I could switch back and forth between the Borg and non-Borg state. What is being Klingon on the Titan 2 on the nose?
Well, I suppose. We did have that 30th anniversary, like
with the Hunters
street set, didn't we? We had like. The Titans had the leather jackets with the spikes on them and things. So you could go down the route of like the Star Trek dress wear that they had for like the captains, and have kind of a red shirt underneath or a yellow shirt underneath, and then they have their kind of the jackets that made them, when they went on ceremony and things like that. So maybe they could get away with that.
Yeah, we already have the disorienting teleport emote, which I'm sorry, that's a teleporter malfunctioning. You can't tell me otherwise.
Titan is Worf makes a lot of sense. Warlock is Spock makes sense. Hunter is Kirk, debatable. I like Kirk. I am more of a Picard guy, if we're being fully honest. Shut up.
The Titans or the Hunters are tribbles, and you can't tell me otherwise.
Or what?
They just keep multiplying, and they all look the same.
Trebles?
Tribbles. There's trouble with them.
I missed that episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You must have missed multiple episodes then.
I suppose I did.
They've been featured in the original. They've been featured in Next Generation. They've been featured in Deep Space Nine. I think even Voyager. Are you a fan, really? No, you're not.
I liked him a lot when I was growing up. I was a big Isaac Asimov fan. I never got into Voyager.
He wasn't in it. You know that, don't you?
Who, Isaac Asimov? He freaking wrote it. What do you mean he wasn't in it?
That's a different guy entirely.
What?
Gene Roddenberry and Isaac Asimov are different people. Exposed this week. Respawn doesn't know what he's talking about.
I guess not.
We lured him into a trap.
Roddenberry.
Next, he'd be saying that he's been dreaming of electric sheep.
No, the things I dream about, we can't talk about on the air for legal reasons.
Do the androids dream the Night Demon? Do they?
Android, man, I wish.
Anyway,
so yeah.
If given the option, would you guys swap to a synthetic body? My wife thinks I am crazy. She's like, so you're telling me that if you had the opportunity, you'd trade your human body for a synthetic one? I'm like, without a second thought, 100%.
I don't know.
This one's not getting any better.
Exactly.
Dick Van Dyke is still going strong, so there is hope.
Well,
your queen lasted for what?
Or
300 years, man.
Not as long as Dick Van Dyke.
Or maybe he already has been swapped over. Dick Van Dyke version 4 is a go.
Indeed. Oh man.
You can really tell the weeks where we don't have like an 8-mile long TWAB to get through because we're not so worried about it. And we're like, let's just talk nonsense. It's beautiful. It's perfect.
No, it wasn't nonsense. We've talked about the Star Wars collaboration, how fantastic we enjoy it. Yeah, we love it. It's amazing, and I can't wait to buy all the things. But I was impressed with the Sparrow. All those years that Respawn has said, could we just get the Star Wars Sparrow in Destiny? It just fits with everything, and then you get on it and you boost, and it does the noises, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm in Star Wars. The Ghost does the noises of the Death Star, and the ship. It's fantastic.
And which noises does the Sparrow make? For those not familiar,
I have to insert it here because I've no idea how to make that noise.
Nope, I was right. Isaac Asimov's work influenced the creation of Star Trek. Thank you.
Creation, the influence, and wrote are in fact different words.
Okay,
many different things.
That is true, but
I
knew I was associating him with Star Trek for a reason. Wrote was the incorrect word, but he absolutely inspired Star Trek.
Kurosawa wrote Star Wars, didn't you?
I will give you half of a point of credit.
No, I didn't.
Don't give him anything. He deserves nothing for that.
I didn't hear what he said.
He wrote most of his name on the paper. We give him at least half a point for that.
I don't even actually know if he wrote his name, to be honest.
I said half a name. I didn't even say the full name. I mean, he got at least part of it right. Rails? What rails? Do you guys have rails? I don't see any rails.
Well, you did say to me this week, you said that you've gone through the update and kind of condensed it down for people to kind of understand. So do you want to kick us off with that? Then we'll move into the TWAB. And then we can talk about episode Heresy.
It's a trap. Don't do it, Peroty.
I mean, I can do it because I did sit down and through the power of computers said, that's a lot of words in here. We've probably talked about most of these words. So we don't have to talk about all the words.
Were you influenced by Isaac Asimov for this?
I really wasn't. I was more influenced by the musical stylings of Fallout's Twitch stream and other people playing that was on in the background while I was doing this. So basically there's, there have been a whole bunch of changes. If you want to read the whole, 8.2.0 update, go read it. It's all there for you. It'll have all the things. But I said, we've talked about most of these in past weeks, and we don't need to talk about all of them again because that's just silliness. So, in episode of Heresy, we have some new rewards. Armor sets, ghost shells, sparrow ships, emblems.
All the things.
You no longer require a flawless to earn most of the rewards and trials. Mm-hmm. They've, just sort of the reminder of they've moved away from the flawless base system to the get 7 wins on a card system. So, pure, just stick-to-itiveness. Just go in, just keep going in, keep getting kicked in the face, and eventually you'll get a reward for it. They made a bunch of prismatic-only changes. Your unpowered knockout melees will no longer spawn a diamond lance on kills against players. The active energy refunded on prismatic is decreased by 20% in the Crucible. This affects energy refunds from Gambler's Dodge, Shiver Strike, and Armor mods, but generally excludes the exotic effects. And they added a 10% cooldown penalty to supers and modes when the super timing is vitally important, like trials or competitive.
It's vitally important.
Vitally important.
Who determines whether or not it's vitally important?
Trials are competitive. That's your vital importance. They made a slew of lobby balancing changes, and they used all sorts of words. The gist of it is, they made changes to the paired player lobby as well, so it'll fall back to the average lobby rank balancer less often when dealing with fire teams. So it'll actually try to take your fire teams into account. If you're playing 6v6, they reduced your Vostok and multiplex from average weight to below average weight, so you should see those less often. And they increased burnout from average to above average weight, so less Vostok and multiplex, more burnout when you're doing 6v6. In competitive, they've removed Citadel Clash and Multiplex Clash from rotation. Previously, they were very low weights. Radiant Cliffs Clash from rotation. It was previously at an average weight, and they just removed it entirely, so you'll never see that. And they increased the weight of Burnout and Dead Cliffs Clash from above average to high to compensate. And so I guess basically they're saying, like by saying like Burnout Clash or Dead Cliffs Clash, it's Clash on those game modes. Why they're referring to it that way? Because somebody else wrote it this week. Who knows why? In Dominion, they made a bunch of changes to the zone spawns. They spawn after 40 seconds. It was previously 30. Zone takes 20 seconds to capture, previously 15. And neutral special ammo crate spawns at 30 seconds, previously 20. In Showdown, revives no longer subtract a point from the opposing team. In competitive collision, new logic will prevent the next zone from spawning too near the active zone, so you actually have to go run and look for it. Contesting a zone will now flip it to neutral, stopping the owning team from gaining points. And the new zone will show up 20 seconds before it opens, previously 15 seconds, allowing teams more time to go find it and move to it. In zone control, they decrease the frequency of the heavy ammo spawning to align it with regular Crucible mode from 60 to 120 seconds. And they removed heavy ammo locations in non-neutral areas, zones A and C, to make acquiring heavy ammo faster. In Iron Banner Tribute, kills now contribute points. Yay! Doing things, murdering people, because nobody was playing the activity anyway. And the second hunt now appears dynamically based on the score achieved during the first hunt. And dunking crests will now grant you super energy. That's Bungie saying, we know you don't want to play Gambit, but play Iron Banner Gambit. We're going to kind of maybe make it worth your while. Dunk some moats.
You don't want to play Gambit, but now the Drifter's lonely. Go keep him company.
Yeah, the Drifter needs your love, okay? They did a whole competitive point system rework that we've already gone over in the past. Salvation's Edge for raids and dungeon changes. They changed the memento acquisition criteria for Salvation's Edge and the Garden of Salvation raids. The no-wipe completions are no longer required, and a full clear now grants a chance at the memento once per week on normal difficulty and can drop repeatedly in master mode. Also, they fixed an issue that prevented combatants from withdrawing when the witness is defeated, and adjusted the witness limb shaders for better legibility in colorblind modes. So there you go, Respawn. You can see the witness's limbs better, maybe, hopefully.
I mean, you say that, but every time they adjust colorblind, it kind of gets worse.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I mean, they didn't say adjusted it for the better, they just adjusted it.
Facts.
In Vesper's Host, they fixed an issue where the operator panel could be activated by splash damage, reducing accidental activations. In Last Wish, updated the Queen's Walk buff to display on top of the HUD like the other buffs. We talked about a whole bunch of exotic armor in the past. A couple more changes they either didn't talk about or made changes to. For the Hunter, your Dragon Shadow and Spirit of the Dragon, your updated Wraith Mail medal shows a timer next to the buff. Fix an issue where the Wraith Mail medal had a lower priority than intended. In your Foe Tracer, they increased bonus weapon damage duration from 10 seconds to 15 seconds. Your Gwizzin Vest now grants super returns on super hits, in addition to kills before becoming invisible, and emits a weakening smoke cloud when exiting invisibility near an enemy. For your Radiant Dance Machines, they've improved the airborne effectiveness, hipfire mobility, and accuracy for primary ammo weapons. And multi-kills with the primary ammo refund dodge energy. When dodge energy is full, multi-kills grant extra charges. For your sealed Amonkara's Grasp, they reworked the weapon swapping focus with a new perk. Power melee and finisher final blows grant Nightmare Fuel. Freshly drawn weapons deal extra damage when Nightmare Fuel is active, and reloads all holstered weapons upon gaining Nightmare Fuel. For Titans, they made some changes to the sight and ramparts. They remove several downsides applied by the Assault Barricade to align it with Towering Barricade. Increase the barricade health from 400 to 500. No longer increases cooldown or decreases duration. And further increase the damage dealt to the barricade from Guardians from 125% to 160%, obviously in PvP.
No, are these PvP? No, I'm kidding. And what was that for? Titan's Ramparts, you said?
Yeah, the Titan Ramparts, the barricade you can shoot through. Exotic.
Gotcha. So now it's even weaker? That sounds like a nerf to you guys.
Yeah, basically. They made it was very good, and now they've said, we still don't want this to be good.
Fair enough.
They added the new feature, the temporal aim assist. Aiming at a target locks on that target, preventing it from being dragged away by faster moving enemies. That's a controller only feature, which I reiterate because, yes, please, we would all like that to happen. And they did make a change on fusion rifles. They increased damage by 30% versus minor, major champions and mini boss targets. And they previously said 15%, which was that was just for the aggressive frames, but fusion rifles overall got a 30% boost. Oh yeah, and there was a bunch of other changes. If you want to read the full thing, 820, you can review the full thing there. But that was sort of the highlights of what they hadn't touched on in the past, or things that were worth reiterating because they're important.
Cool. Thank you for that. And then this week in Destiny, for the 6th of February, Heresy has arrived. We know the Star Wars collaboration is here. There's a new dungeon. It's being completed now. This, as we record on Saturday, it was confirmed. I think it took about, was it 6 hours? I believe. Because by the time I was still going to bed, I'm sure it still hadn't been finished. And then I woke up to a notification said, oh, this has been done. We're just checking. I was like, oh, that's nice. And then we have a brand new Bungie reward and grab the Lunar New Year emblem. So there you go. So Heresy is here. And if you want to see the story trailer, that is in the TWAB. I can also link it in the show notes if you want to kind of do that. But there you go. In a galaxy far, far away, we've already talked about our Star Wars collaboration. And Bungie want to show you a trailer, which was pretty cool. I like the trailer. It shows you the sounds. If you're interested in the sounds that the ship and the Sparrow do and the Ghost, they're in there. And the Sundered Doctrine dungeon. Because this is a TWAB, it came out on the Thursday and it said it was tomorrow, which was yesterday, which was Friday. Been done, completed, over and done with. People won some trophies and people watched and got emblems. Did you guys watch and get some emblems? I didn't.
Not.
I was at work, so I missed all of that.
I didn't. But there's a respawn report roundup about the emblem, so you may have another chance to get that emblem if you wanted to get it for the dungeon race. Only it's going to be not when the dungeon race is happening.
Yeah.
So no, I didn't watch anybody yesterday, and I was busy doing other things, and totally kind of forgot about it until I was like, oh right, that's thing people are doing.
They did give us a disabled list of weapons that are disabled in the dungeon. So we had the Macrocosm, which is disabled across the whole of Destiny 2. Apparently it was doing something with heavy and special ammo that it shouldn't have been doing. So yeah. Auto-loading holster perk, the class-specific exotic glaives, because you could equip them on any character. So if you wanted to have a bubble hunter, you can be a bubble hunter with the Titan glaive if you like. I think you can still use it outside of the game, outside of the dungeon. So you've got the Edge of Concurrence, the Edge of Action, and Edge of Intent, which is also banned in the Sundered Doctrine. The Lord of Wolves, because that is just mad at the moment. It's gone back to being amazing in boss melting things. The boost from Volatile Marksman, which is an artifact mod, the Spirit of Necrotic, and the Spirit of Filament perks on the Warlock Soul Splim exotic class item. That's it, But I don't know if they're still kind of disabled now if you go into the normal version. I'm guessing they might still be. Because like we had with the hunter with the bow. Do we know?
Yeah.
Do we know?
I
don't know what you're talking about specifically. Like we had with the hunter with the bow. What do you mean?
Your super. It was disabled. It was
bow.
Disabled Investor's Host, wasn't it? So I'm guessing that most of these things,
the dead.
I know sometimes that they disable these things for the dungeon races or the raid races, but then they allow them in the normal version later on. So they might actually be available apart from Macrocosm, apparently. So
Macrocosm's game wide. But yeah, I would assume it's fine and normal because it's just they said they're disabling for contest mode specifically.
Yeah.
So I'd assume you can just take it into the normal dungeon because there's no stakes there. Just go get your completions and enjoy.
Exactly. We have some new Bungie rewards available. So with the launch of a new episode, they're also releasing new Bungie rewards to celebrate your feats. So players who complete the Sundered Doctrine by 9:59 a.m. PDT on May 6th, long time away. So you've got a long time. You'll get the Bungie reward offer to purchase the Sundered Doctrine assortment, including a new work shirt, a new dungeon bracelet, and pin. And those invest the time to complete the Delver title Link to the Dungeon by 9:59 a.m. PDT on May 6th will unlock the offer to purchase the Sundered Doctrine title pin, which looks like a cut-up worm from Rolk's Pyramid Ship. Pretty cool. And that's not all. There's a Heresy pin also available if you complete the Heretic title by 9:59 a.m. PDT on May 6th, 2025. So that's the logo for this season. Looks pretty cool. And then finally, apparently there's a perfect emblem to add to our collection.
Do that, and I hate you.
I don't want it. I don't like cats. It's called Knit One Per Two, and it's included as a gift with every Bungie store purchase completed through the duration of Heresy. Yeah, that's
perfect.
No. Puppers, yeah, I'm all for the puppers. Where's my Star Wars emblem? I need a Star Wars emblem. I need a Death Star kind of looking one.
You have a ghost. Be happy.
I do.
Yeah, there were ghost finishers, emotes. You have enough Star Wars. That's enough Star Wars for one day. If you eat any more Star Wars, you're going to make yourself sick.
Also, weren't you just complaining about not having enough money for what they already gave you, and you want more?
No, but if it was an emblem,
yes, he does. Yeah, emblems are free.
Yeah,
actually, the kitty one you have to make a purchase to get it.
Unless you have to buy things or
Well, I don't want a kitty one. I don't want the kitty one.
Yeah,
I'm not a kitty fan.
Favorite one. You say that, but I've seen your attic. You have lots of secret kitty pictures. I've seen it.
Look, I used to like cats until we got cats, and now me and one of the cats do not see eye to eye. He doesn't.
Well,
like
I mean,
me,
you're significantly taller than they are. So
no, I get down to his level and I look at him in the eyes.
You lick at him?
Yeah, I look at him. I look at him in the eyes, directly in the eyes. He knows. He knows.
What happens then? What do you do?
Well, I try to communicate. He's a deaf cat. He's a rescue deaf cat, but he's not stupid. He knows he winds me up.
Oh, all cats do that, dude.
No, he does it deliberately. Anyway,
yeah,
I'm not talking about my cat. I'm talking about my cat. This is a Destiny show. Let's get off of this rubbish.
That's every cat. What about snakes? How do you feel about snakes?
Yeah, I like snakes.
Snakes.
But again, I don't own a snake, so I could change my view of snakes once we own a snake.
And then that snake eats your cat.
Well, currently, how do you feel about the Year of the Snake emblem that you could get just for free? Just for entering a code, and that's it?
Yes. I will enter the code. You will enter the code. We will all enter the code, and we will all have the Year of the Snake emblem. Added to our collection. We might not ever wear it. We've got it there, just to say we've got it. So many years from now, when people say, why are you still playing Destiny? And you whip that out, and they go, oh my God, you're a god for having the snake emblem. You go, I know.
Obviously.
Yep.
Everyone
I think you spend a little too much time in your attic there, bud.
Yeah.
So you're saying there's a chance.
There is a chance. But yeah, that's the TWAB this week. That's all that's there. And then I hand it back over to Peroty to go over a player support report. And
known issues later.
He tells me about known issues and stuff.
Yeah. And
there is some good art, though, after that.
There is some good art. And actually, he's going to tell you about the rest of the changes in the giant update. Because as he was reading and going, this doesn't seem right. This seems like there was a lot more. Yeah, because I found the wrong file. Because I had many of these files because I was trying to compare all of these things yesterday. So yeah, there's actually a number of things that, we didn't talk about yet, but they talked about. So we've also got more changes for the Titan. We already talked about all the PvP stuff, dungeons and raids, a little bit of hunter changes. That was there. Kepri's Horn, they clarified that when you're using Kepri's Horn, it now sends out 3 waves of flames instead of a single one when you cast your barricade. Before they'll leave it open, like, oh, maybe could I thruster with this? Nope, you must use the barricade to get the fire.
Yeah, the thrusters was the X, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. And they were like, no. Now we're going to give you 3 waves of flames instead of a single one. Barricade only. Boo.
Right.
Your Worm God Caress, they fixed an issue where the timer would still display in the player's buff tray after switching off the exotic. So you can Worm God Caress, and now you cannot. Otherwise, you couldn't not Worm God Caress before. It was your only option, caressing Worm Gods. That's it. Warlock has a slew of fixes.
I don't like talking about caressing worms.
Well, you're in the wrong place then, because we also have a Crown of Tempest change for the Warlock. They adjusted it. They adjusted the gating to be more robustly supporting the Prismatic Warlock by expanding the granted ability energy to all elements. And the description was updated to match, stating, while you have an arc ability equipped, arc ability or jolt final blows increase the recharge rate of your abilities and extend the duration of storm trance. Your Geomax stabilizers, they added the new perk. Sprinting while near max static charge will top it off. They changed the the bolt charge to static charge. So they previously said it'll give you your bolt charge, but now it's doing the static charge. It starts at 6 stacks of static charge, and re-added effects when the boots spark when running at full speed for near max static charge, and increase the ionic traces from 2% to 7%. And they basically rewrote all of those stupid 7 to 2s, but increased, making us stumble over words. They rewrote all of those to be 2 to 7 increased, because that's how you write things in words. Your Mantle of Battle Harmony, they fixed an issue allowing players to extend the Song of Flame. The stack got fixed, which we talked about, because they fixed an issue preventing the stack from dropping a Healing Rift on death. And your Seek and Filaments now grant class ability energy for each final blow while Devour is active. We did talk about the fusion rifles overall got a 30% buff versus everything except for bosses. Previously it was listed as 15%, but that was just for the aggressive frames. It got the 15% versus minor and major combatants. Let's see. Heavy linear fusion rifles. They branched the flinch taken so they are no longer affected by the flinch nerfs targeting special ammo linear fusion rifles in Crucible. The rocket sidearms, the intent is to make them slightly worse at ad clear, harder to use at long range against moving targets, and not as strong against bosses, but maintain the same total damage against a single target. So they changed a whole bunch of, hey, this was, this many percents to scalars. So before they said they reduced the PvE detonation damage by 45%, and the PvE impact damage by 100%. And now they're saying we increased the PvE impact scalar from 1 to 2 and 4 to 2.3. Bungie, in the future, could you not tell us about the scalars and use the real words? Because those were better. So if we could have those in the future, telling me the impact damage is increased by 100% makes a lot more sense to me than PvE impact scalar from 1 to 2. So, I don't ask for much. Just words I can understand. For your support frame auto rifles, range now scales by how far away you can heal target guardians, 28 meters at 0 range, up to 38 meters at 100 range. Your swords, your wave frame swords, now use significantly wider wave particle effects to match their actual area of effect. And they adjusted the particle effect that plays when a sword ammunition is depleted or restored. The VFX now plays while the sword is equipped, and resolved an issue where the effect could play at the character's feet under certain circumstances. Bunch of changes that people pointed out almost immediately when this dropped. Your power grenade launchers, minus 10% against bosses. And rapid fire GL bonuses reserves reduced from 25% to 15%. So if your power grenade launchers felt weaker, yes they did. Scout rifles got a 15% buff against minors and a 30% buff against majors. And SMGs got a plus 5% buff against minors. Your Grave Robber perk. They fixed an issue where players could not activate the Grave Robber with the Song of Flame melee. And for loose change, they doubled the duration from 4.5 seconds to 9 seconds for base, or 5 to 10 seconds for enhanced. The Psycho Hack perk, they set it up under the new shared exhaust verb instead of a custom variant. And they fixed issues where Indomitability was not functioning as intended when playing a Prismatic subclass. They fixed an issue where the severed duration granted by the Slice perk was not extended by the threat of continuity, Fixed an issue where the glaive melee attacks against stasis crystals wouldn't trigger Rhyme Stealer. Because, that's the whole point. Exotic weapon, they fixed the collective obligation not being able to leech suppression from tethered targets. They suppressed the visual effects from the Winterbite exotic during emotes and other performance actions. Fixed an issue where the Choir 1 was not applying the proper bonus damage to frozen enemies. Fixed an issue where Tommy's matchbooks could continue to apply Scorch to enemies even if it was not hitting them.
Oh.
I knew there'd be some disappointment on that one.
That was a good cheese in Crucible.
It was. Your classic exotic glaives, your Hunter Glaive also gets a jolting feedback perk. Titan Glaive also gains destabilizing rounds. In your Warlock Glaive, they added Cure Pulse to Special Shot Impact, and also gains the Incandescent perk. The Manticore, they just updated the art for the perk progress bar in the weapon reticle. And Quicksilver Storm, they partially rolled back the final shape change, reducing the shots required to trigger a rocket by 17%. So you'll get your rockets a little bit quicker. General changes, they added new weapon mods to their appropriate collections menu. Overload effects will now use the shared exhaust verb. So I guess, does that mean if I'm overloading something, am I exhausting the champion? Is that what I'm looking for now?
Maybe.
We'll see. Fixed an issue where curated rolls of the Guardian Games weapons acquired during Season of Defiance could not swap perks and couldn't properly gain enhanced perks. So you've been holding on to those. Now's your moment in the sun. They fixed an issue preventing players from being able to restrict the tracking module perk on the Hothead Adept rocket launcher. And fixed an issue where the Heretic's Favor rocket launcher could drop with a quick draw perk in both column traits. All the things getting bolt charge. Oh yeah, and it's worth mentioning, to get the new aspects for your Titan, Warlock, or Hunter, go to Ikora, pick up the Arc or Void aspect, and remember to meditate. Remember to meditate before you leave Ikora. Otherwise, you'll be sad, and you won't actually have the thing you just picked up. So yeah, no quest, no mission, just go visit Ikora. That's it. Apparently there was an issue where rapidly navigating through the customization menus could cause some ornaments to become unpurchasable. So if you ran into that, that should be fixed. Some ornaments could be reacquired even though they're already unlocked. Solstice glows weren't appearing on some Trials armor. Ornaments were erroneously reported they were owned even though they weren't. And to fix an issue with the visual accents of the campaign node on the Final Shape campaign. So there may be some other things they slid in there, but those were the main things that I saw that hadn't been talked about in the past updates. So now that I've put everybody to sleep, I know we lost Respawn 45 minutes ago.
No, you didn't lose me. I just muted myself.
He's over there snoring in the corner going, nobody cares.
I'm not snoring. I'm sniffing. There's a difference.
Same idea. Bungie 2024 Dawning Rewards update. So now we're back to the TWAB and the player support report. And they have things to report to us. It's all, it's a new content drop. It's all things broken, things fixed. So after working through the unlocked issues, the Dawning 2024 ornament is now available for purchase on the Bungie store. We have extended the purchase due to, to May 6th, so you can get this reward. And then you can get your kitty cat emblem that I know Night Demon's really excited to get. So you can buy your Christmas ornament now in May, and then you're all set for next Christmas. So by the next Dawning, you'll be ready. Super exciting. I can tell you're just chomping at the bit to get a hold of it.
I'm a Stormtrooper. Doesn't matter. They can throw anything else at me. I'm a Stormtrooper.
Yeah, done.
They've
resolved 2 issues with armor ornaments alongside with Heresy. The chain piston ornament for the Synthoceps will now appear on the armor inspection menu after purchase. And the Solar Storm ornament now correctly states that it has a unique visual effect occurring when wearing the matching exotic armor. The callout for Pyrogale gauntlets will be added in a future update. Which I can't remember who I was talking to this week about going, hey, they're selling an ornament. What for? I don't know. Doesn't say. Can't tell you. So Pyrogale gauntlets is the other magical ornament that they'll now tell you about. And, that's what they fixed. And they also had some updates regarding the Nether. Because people have had lots of big feelings about the Nether. With the release of the Nether activity in the Dreadnought, we're looking to treat health as a resource that players need to monitor throughout gameplay. At this time, healing-centric builds and options, like weapon perks, exotics, and abilities, are not working as we'd intended. Additionally, we're aware that many healing-centric builds are difficult to see or feel with the Guardian health increased by 200%. Overall, the health bar now contains 3 times your normal health values, so healing feels very low and slow.
Or not at all, like in the case with Devour and whatever. Finish and then I'll complain. Sorry.
Yeah, we're looking to take a balance pass quickly and targeting a patch early as next week to address these issues. Stay tuned for updates. Respawn, commence complaining.
All right, so here's the thing. I like the fact that they treat health as a resource, right? I really do. But here's the problem. If you're going to treat health as a resource, you have to give us a way to, I don't know, replenish said resource, right? So, no, like it's all jacked up, right? Crimson will heal you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Red Death will not. What? Heal Clip will not heal you. What are these perks on your cloak? Hold on, my cloak, your class item.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't work.
Well, I mean, that is accurate. Wait, it's not on this. It's on it's on the shoes. Sorry. Recuperation doesn't work. Better already doesn't work. Right. So those don't work.
So not better already.
Right. Combination blow for hunters doesn't work. Devour on every class, from what I've seen so far, doesn't work. Right. So I mean, it is. Peroty posted a list the other day of the few things that were found to have worked, and many things that were found to have not worked. And now I've got to try to find where Peroty posted that. You posted it in the general chat, right? Or was it the Patreon channel?
Yes.
Here it is. It's Patreon. I found it. All right. So weapons that do work. Crimson, Soros Regime, Ruinous Effigy only while draining. The Rat King with the Catalyst. Which actually, that was kind of fun. We went in with a party of 3 with 3 Rat Kings. That was actually kind of fun. Touch of Malice.
Complaints, just most complaints.
Yeah, well, I mean, Touch of Malice. I don't use that enough to know how that heals you, but apparently it heals you. Any legendary exotics with the Unrelenting perk. Any legendary or exotic with Turnabout. And the knockout aspect does work. I've heard Titans complaining. Like I've played the game with like 6 Titans this week, and at least 2 of them have said knockout is not working for them. So I don't know if that's a bug. The exotics, MK44 standard size, which gives you overshield, One-Eyed Mask, which gives you overshield, Insurmountable Skullfoot, which gives you overshield, no backup plans. Wow, all the Titan stuff seems to work. That's a little weird. And the miscellaneous trait, the Dawning Origin trait, right? Now, here's what does not heal you. And this is not a complete list. This is just what people have found so far.
Can we just say everything else?
Basically everything else. Yeah, I mean,
there they go.
I mean, it is basically everything else.
Can I also point back to the not working as we intended part of what I read?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, but the thing about it
Bungie is aware that things aren't working as they want them to. I just wish they would have been a little bit clearer on, are the things working not meant to work? Is anything meant to work? Like what is your intention, Bungie?
Yeah.
Because I've run the Nether through a couple times, again, just on the normal mode, and have really had no problem with health and healing. Now, granted, I'm using Knockout. I put the Crimson on a little bit, but also I've just been running around shooting pots, just like we did in the coil, like it's my professional job.
Yep.
And there's loads of health to be gotten from that. Now, again, I've only done one run of the harder one, and yeah, that definitely health was an issue for sure, but that was kind of expected. But I haven't really noticed it in the normal one, so maybe I'm just Titan blessed with the knockout aspect. Consecration, which still works.
It does work, but you're not healing from consecration, right? And I've played a lot of the Nightfall version. I say Nightfall version.
It's all, it's all the Nightfall version. That's the other thing that's worth mentioning is it's showing as a right. Yeah, it's showing as a Nightfall. So when you see people in the Nether Nightfall, there's not a separate Nightfall for it, though. Some people are speculating that maybe we're getting an old strike back for Nightfall. But yeah, it's basically showing up as Nightfall the activity tracker for everyone.
Yeah. But when I said that, what I meant was the higher difficulty one is what I meant to say. So scratch that, back up, rewind.
Yeah, the expert level or whatever.
Yeah, expert level. So I've done that a lot, right? And when you're in that specific mode, health is really, really, really hard to come by, right? And even with my moth build, where it just constantly gives overshields, it's not enough. It's nowhere close to enough, right?
Oh.
And like I said, combination load didn't work at all.
Before we go wandering down that rabbit hole, is there any more kind of changes that we need to kind of tell people about from the TWAB or Respawn's report roundup?
There's just a whole bunch of things that they also know are broken.
Okay.
And a bunch of things in the report roundup, some of which we've covered in the TWAB, but there's also a lot of things that they hadn't covered in the TWAB because you never know what they're going to actually put in there. And when they're just going to drop into Twitter and be like, don't tell anyone. But I'm going to tell you, there's no known issues. Players are having issues with voice and text chat, and purchasing silver, you may need to restart your game if they were placed into the login queue on February 4th. So that should be resolved by now, as it's now the 8th of February as we record this. So I think basically if you were trying to get in, day and date Tuesday, and nothing was working because we were put in the queue originally, just log out and log back in, which should be fine by now. Due to an issue where the microcosm can gain heavy ammo from special ammo breaks, the weapon has been disabled until a fix can be deployed. So if you're wondering, that's why. The bolt charge boon description does not match the subclass ability description and should say, at maximum charge, any ability damage generates a powerful bolt of arc lightning at the target's location. Several lines in each language from memory.
What did you say? Which one was that? What about target location? I'm sorry.
The one you can't use. It's not for you.
No, what did you say? Bolt charge?
Yes. It's not for you.
Oh, okay.
Hunters aren't allowed to use it. They get no lightning bolts.
I mean, facts.
Have your grapes, enjoy them. Several lines in each language of the memory of Savathun, memory of Oryx, and memory of Xivu are cut off or not played at all. Missing important story. Character names are missing in the upper right-hand ghost icon when acquiring a collectible. The issue can be circumvented by pulling out your ghost or turning on the show speaker name setting in your settings subtitle options. The Tomb of Want, which is that little thing that's appeared up next to the tonics that you keep forgetting about in your inventory, is not appropriately rewarding the Abyssal Edge legendary sword. Until it's resolved, we recommend seeking an alternative reward to avoid loss of currencies. So if you're trying to get the sword, don't get something else, or you're just gonna give Bungie free, sigil shards or whatever the currency is for that thing.
The Abyssal Edge is just dropping like nobody's business for me, so I'm not having any issue, and I haven't touched a thing. So
oh yeah,
come and see me. I'll give you some.
They are raining weapons down from the Nether on me. Yeah, I agreed.
That's the one that I want. The auto rifle. Can I get that for shite?
Oh, I've got 50 of them if you want one. I've deleted most of them, though. You know what I haven't deleted? The Hunter aspect on the Prowl. It currently grants a small chunk of ability energy over the 7-second duration, each stack instead of all at once. So yeah, so you're getting your ability energy over time, over 7 seconds instead of all at once, which is how they intended. So it should be better once they fix that. Your crafted Vault of Glass weapons still show that they can apply a deep sight harmonizer to the weapon, but it will do nothing, and you'll just waste a deep sight harmonizer, so don't do that. The Overload Artifact mod is not applying to machine guns when unlocked. So if you're trying to overload something with a machine gun,
you're wrong.
No, you're not. Because you're going to shoot them and be sad. The Thunderlord does still work, because you can get the jolting with the lightning strikes, but yeah, so that's a whole thing. This is something fun, and I'm pretty sure why they were disabled in the dungeon race. Class-specific weapons, swords, and exotic glaives can be used with any class. This is not intended.
Not yet.
Yeah, not intended. So, but you can do it. Your new competitive weapon, the Redrix Estoc, can be earned only once in the first week when doing your placement matches. Gotta wait for week 2 to earn more of them. The on-point Gilded Triumph description strings mention stasis, but it should say strand. So if you're trying to do on-the-point Gilded Triumph, strand is the word you're looking for, not stasis. They both start with S.
Yeah,
ST, it's very confusing.
Yeah, they're all both in the same slot.
Words are very hard. One's green, one's blue, they look the same. It's fine.
I like this next one because I feel that they're going to go, there's no point in giving Hawthorne this because you've already got it all.
Well, Hawthorne isn't offering a weekly deep site quest for the Vault of Glass raid. This will be added in a future update.
I'm sure it will.
Well, I know there was something in the roundup about this because I think it was just something else was broken. I mean, lots of things were broken around Vault of Glass this week, but there was something else Hawthorne related that I now can't quite recall. On Act 1, Echoed Warning's main quest, players will see an incomplete objective at each week at the end of Heresy. Thank you. Because I've been running around going, what am I meant to do? No, nothing. You're supposed to wait until next week, which was the conclusion we came to, is the incomplete objective is, okay, you're done. Wait till next week. We're just not going to tell you to wait until next week.
Yeah, I think people have forgotten because I don't think it's been quite clear unless you've been following TWABs and you've been following podcasts and streamers or anything, is that, yes, we started with Echoes doing episodic weekly drops of story. Then we had the full dump, didn't we, in Revenant? But now we've kind of gone back to the weekly cadence, but it's not going to be, as they said, it's not going to be each week and then you get 3 weeks of a break. They've changed the way that the acts are going to be broken up. So you may only get 3 weeks of Act 2 before Act 3 kind of kicks in. So they've changed the way that they're kind of giving us the story, but it's gone back to kind of weekly now, that you do a bit each week and then you can go off and do your other things, come back next week for the next story beat, or you can wait until the end of it and do what other people have been doing, is just kind of completing the story all in one big block and then getting on with whatever you want to kind of get on with.
Yeah, so when you and I don't have the thing in front of me, but yeah, I want to say is when you get to, I don't remember what step it is, but yeah, you'll get to a step where it's like you just can't progress any further. I think it's something about meditating or something. I don't know. I don't have it in front of me.
No,
I want to say it's maybe step 11 of 21, where yeah, you'll get there and that'll say incomplete. So yeah, there's no way to complete it. Don't try. You're just going to get frustrated. There's nothing there for you.
Okay.
Oh yeah, look at that. Revenant's major fieldwork missions are unable to be accessed. So if you, like me, are going, hey, I'd like to maybe finish up those fieldworks that I just never did because I didn't care enough to, you can now pick up the mission. You can go to the planet. You can find the little table of tonics, and nothing can happen. You try to interact with it, and you simply cannot. So that's fun. So if you're like, oh, let me finish these out. No, you can't. I tried it on Europa, and I tried it on I can't remember.
Nessus, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was EDZ and Europa. I tried it on. Neither one of those worked. Same thing. Got to the table, and the table's there. It's highlighted. Simply cannot interact with it.
Should have done it last episode.
You know, I should have, but then I didn't.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, no, I didn't, and now I can't. Bungie said, "Oh, now we're just going to break it." So yes, and going back one, when you get to Act 1, Echoed Warnings, you get to step 11 of 21. It'll say, train your mind in the rituals of the Tome of Want as Deputy Commander Sloan assesses the intel you've recovered. So I guess that's basically, Sloan's going to take a week and assess the intel, but it's going to show as incomplete. So that's as far as you can go. So once you get to step 11, you're done for the week. We'll pick up next week once the, intelligence has been assessed by Sloan. Or, Sloan's underlings, who really knows? So yeah, so you're stuck there. Major fieldworks don't work. Raids have surges enabled. This is not intentional and will be fixed in a future update. So no, they're not bringing surges back to raids. They just forgot to turn off the surges when someone pressed the, make everything go button. The Stoicism's Heart's Pledge ornament doesn't show cloth in the Type 2 model. So that's something worth mentioning. While you're going and spending all your money on Star Wars this week, you could also go spend some of your money on your exotic class items, because now they have ornaments. So
okay.
if it's really been ruining your fashion,
they have more ornaments. They had them before, but
no, they didn't.
They did.
No, they didn't.
At least ours did. The exotic class items, yes, they did.
I think they had one.
Yeah, they had one. Yes.
Oh, do they have? Okay, do they have the one? All right. Well, now
they have two.
Now there's Heart's Pledge and Hellenistic Principle. Okay, I guess I just never went and looked, so I thought they had done. But yeah, so now they have them. So the Heart's Pledge isn't showing cloth on the Type 2 model, which is kind of funny because it's kind of all cloth, very reminiscent of the old Iron Banner one. That was just here's a strip cloth down the front, strip cloth down the back, and that's all you need. The Fatebringer Time Lost does not have a socket for a memento. No memento for you.
No.
The Nether.
Question. I know you're not being able to answer. That's kind of a statement of it doesn't have a socket for memento, but is it going to get a socket for a memento, Bungie? Or doesn't have and never will? You need to kind of finish that sentence, please.
We'll
look into it, maybe.
Yeah, there is no this is intentional or this will be fixed. Just, hey, it doesn't have a socket for mementos. I'm going to guess and we're going to fix it. Yeah. But yeah, it's a known issue. Are they going to act on it? Yeah, maybe. The Nether Treasure Chest game reward can only be picked up by the first player to complete it. So that's the game where if you watch any of the how do I do these things on the Nether, there's a thing where you can go into a room of like 7 treasure chests and some thrall statues. Currently, only the first person to open it, or I think only the person that interacts with the thing to take you there or whatever, can open a chest. The rest of you have to stand around and wait. I haven't gotten that little secret activity, but if you have, that's why. And the Hunter Arc Aspect Ascension depletes all super energy when used during the roaming super. So that's it. That's what's broken. That's what's fixed. That's where we are in the game right now.
But we do have some lovely art.
That explains so much. Well, hold on, no, because I swapped to my... Last night I was trying my build with the Hunter Strand super, the roaming one where you whip people, right?
Yeah.
And the second I activated it just went away. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
I didn't know that was an issue. So that's interesting.
It's not for you.
No, it's not.
Yeah, for real.
So we've got a lovely picture of me and Respawn standing next to each other in fire in the TWAB this week.
Indeed.
Yeah. Yep. So Respawn has just set the world on fire and I'm just standing there watching with him.
What? I would never do that with a witness.
It must have been earlier in the week because I don't see you as a stormtrooper there. So that must have been.
No, this was last season. Yeah, this was last season. Yeah,
okay.
This is before Stormtrooper. And then how to win Movie of the Week. Movie of the Week winner. There you go. So watch that.
Legit. Checks out.
Yeah, might be able to do that. So there you go.
Also, the secret you said you didn't have yet, Peroty, that happens. The main area of the Dreadnought with all the tentacly things where you fight the ogre, right?
Yeah. No, like I know how to get to it. I just have not.
Oh, so you haven't seen the purple eye? Yeah, all you got to do is when the purple eye spawns, the Shrieker, right?
Yeah.
You kill the Shrieker, and a portal pops up where he was, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in there plenty of times, but the Shrieker's never popped up. So I don't know if I'm just not doing part of it and it doesn't pop up, or if it's random. But either way,
I do have some videos for you later on that you can check out to see if you can do it.
Oh, there's already one that I've checked out because I was like, tell me how to play this game. I've been here for 1,000 years, Bungie. I would love to know how any of it works.
All a secret.
So I do have an update for you on the winners of the Sundered Doctrine dungeon race on contest mode. We have Biggs, Mario Monkey, and Luigi Style. They are the winners of the first team to complete the Sundered Doctrine dungeon. So there you go. That's who won. And that was 11:34 p.m. last night when I was asleep. So there you go.
Congratulations to them. Good job.
So that was quite a few hours, wasn't it? It must have been. It went live at 5 for me, so 6-7 hours.
Yeah, that was a good long
dungeon.
Yeah. Good job.
But there you go. Respawn. Have you got a roundup?
I believe Peroty said I did.
He really does.
Respawn report.
Also, have any of us seen the Traveler floating LED lamp that the Bungie store and Destiny 2 team has tweeted about?
No.
Right, Demon, do you need this lamp?
Is it Star Wars inspired?
I mean,
everything has to be Star Wars Destiny crossover now. That's it.
I mean,
if it's a floating Death Star, then yes, maybe I need it.
Here, go look in the host chat, and I mean, it's not a floating Death Star.
I could make it into a floating Death Star, couldn't I? Yeah.
I bet you
really could.
With your artistic talents.
Yeah, I mean, you're most of the way there. It's 7 inches tall. It basically it looks like a traveler hovering over.
I could give that to my wife. I could give that to my wife as a kind of birthday present. Say, look, here's one of those nightlight things, and she'd just never know. As long as I remove the packaging from Destiny 2, she won't know what that is.
Bruh.
Yeah,
brilliant.
The second she finds out, though, she's delivering divorce papers.
No, she's not. She'll love it. And if she does find out, it'll be thrown at my head, and then it will be a traveler no more. It'll be the broken traveler, and I could probably still put it back together and then go, look, it's still kind of canon to the game.
Mm-hmm. So it is $120.
Okay.
So anniversary present, perfect.
And now we've got income and outgoing taxes. That's a lot of money.
Oh, there is a Destiny 2 logo on the base of it though, so you might need to cover that up. It looks like it's raised slightly. So you might need to,
is it underneath it, or
it's underneath it, but it hovers over it, so it's visible. So
just engraves like a heart or something in there.
Maybe a sticker, just a sticker. Yeah, a love sticker.
Yeah. All right. So the roundup for 315. That's today, right? 315.
It is 315.
Yeah. Wow, goodness.
Squirrel.
As a 96 worker, tell me it's worth to come back. Or am I good enough to wait on Monster Hunter to come out? Bruh, that is a loaded question because I am a Monster Hunter kind of nut job. So,
but you're here playing the game, so
because Monster Hunter doesn't come out till the 28th, but
look at that squirrel over there. You see that squirrel, 19? And look at all the nuts he has.
No. Somebody asked in the chat because they said if we downloaded Destiny after not being on since Final Shape, he went through the many pop-ups. He got depressed. He then Alt F4'd the game and then uninstalled it. He says life is better in the watch corner, right? And then he asked, as a 96 worker, tell me, is it worth it to come back, or am I good enough to wait on Monster Hunter to come out? So he asked questions.
My question to you is, have you gone to humblebundle.com to get Destiny 2's The Story So Far bundle, where you can get the Final Shape, Lightfall, Witch Queen, the 30th Anniversary Pack, Beyond Light, Shadowkeep, and the Forsaken Pack for how much money you think? Respawn, how much trash you have to lay down to get all of these beautiful things?
$30.
There you go. Done. Dusted.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a Humble Bundle deal right now going for all the things. So if you want all, you have to be on PC. You've got 10 days and 10 hours as we record. Yeah, you'll get everything. You do have to pay $20, 7-item bundle. Money goes to charity, and 20 years or 35.
And the Humble Bundle used to be like you could pick your charity. Is it still like that? Because it has been a while since I've been on there.
Okay. So it's $20 to get the Final Shape. If you do 30, you'll get the Final Shape and the 3 episodes. So honestly, at this point, the episodes are almost over. I don't know if you need them. But yeah, but $20 to $30, you get all 7. Well, let's see. If you go to the thing and you hit the checkout, you can adjust the donation. Does it say where this one goes to? I saw people posting about this, but I haven't looked at it because, you have to play on Windows, have to redeem on Steam, neither of which I do. But I know you can adjust your donation, but I think this bundle specifically supports the Bungie Foundation.
Okay.
So for this one particularly, it's going toward the Bungie Foundation.
Oh, so
as the charity.
That is the charity, is the Bungie Foundation specifically. Gotcha. Yep. All right, cool. All right. Well, here we go.
Jump back in. There's a cheap way to do it on console, or on PC. If you're on console, you just have to be sad with the rest of us.
So now is this the Respawn's report roundup? Because I was confused at the thing to start off with. So this is now it.
I mean, it can be. I really wanted to talk about the weapons in the game, but I don't think y'all.
We can get there. We can get there. Hurry up!
We can talk about whatever.
So hey, at Destiny 2 team, this is from MacDix. Oh, how you doing, MacDix? Long time no see. Hey, at Destiny 2 team, in last week's TWAB, it said that the heretical halation emblem would be available starting February 7th at the launch of the dungeon. But today's TWAB said February 11th. Is this a typo, or did the date get changed? Bro got the receipts and everything. Circled it, highlighted it, faxed it, freaking FedExed it. My goodness. It's looking like the date info from the TWID today is correct. February 11th is the day, guys. It is the day. So the long and short, we found in the past that running watch/sub drops over the top of each other can lead to issues. As such, this specific emblem has been moved out. We'll update the previous TWID and get some comms out to clarify. Well, there you go. It is 11. Oh well, you got a whole thing. Zavaler. I cannot play Trials anymore this weekend. As a lot of you saw, the cheaters have targeted me, changing their name to Sexual Assault Threats About Me. So it's not Trials, it's bad people. Not only ruining my experience, but everyone else's too. This has made me very uncomfortable. As much as I enjoy playing PvP, I don't think it's worth to keep playing. I hope you can understand. Thank you for those who do and for your time. And then she put a purple heart. So yeah, it's not about the trials. It's about cheaters specifically messing with her for whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe she made them upsetting.
Literally, I'm pretty sure she was one of the featured game to give streamers. And people literally changing their in-game names, matching her, and making their name sexual assault and rape threats.
That's crazy.
Which no one should have to deal with in a video game.
The fact that they specifically did it was crazy. Hey, Zavaler, and it's Zavaler, not We greatly apologize that you've had to deal with this harassment while we've been banning many player-reported accounts for engaging in this type of conduct. This is common? Damn.
Yeah.
We have a back-end change planned for tomorrow to help prevent this sort of abuse via name changing mid-match. We'll be monitoring through the week to ensure that the change lands, and the team is continuing to iterate on cheat detectors to more easily remove abusers from our ecosystem. We have a zero tolerance when it comes to stuff like this, or cheating in general, and we'll continue to do what we can. Wow. So that is extra toxic, my Lanta. All right, this week we've banned a large number of accounts that were breaking our terms of service either by cheating or through violations of the code of conduct. Additionally, we are investigating an exploit involving the use of an external tool that is circumventing for our in-game Bungie name filters. We are banning accounts engaging in this conduct and actively working towards a solution to prevent names that break our code of conduct from being exposed to our players. Imagine getting banned, A, for changing your name to something stupid to harass somebody, and B, installing a third-party software specifically so you can go out there and mess with somebody. That is next level toxic. That is, man. Some people are just dumb.
Yeah. And nasty.
Yeah, there's no sense in any of that. Note, we're planning to address the above exploit in Destiny 2 update 8.2.0 tomorrow morning to prevent players from changing their names mid-match while using external tools. We have been actioning accounts as quickly as we can and will continue to do so. All right.
Yeah, and that was a massive update that went live this week. And they didn't mention it, but also they don't mention, the anti-cheat stuff they put in because they're not going to say, hey, here's how we did things for anti-cheat. Because then people just go, great, now I can just cheat in a different way. Yeah, so that should be live and should be in the game whenever they implement it.
There's the glaive thing you already talked about. With the release of the Nether activity...
There's more. There's more to the glaives, though.
Oh, okay.
There's good news. There's good news for glaive enjoyers.
All right. Destiny 2, so is it intentional to be able to equip exotic glaives on any class now? If not, please keep it in. Oh, okay, so he's requesting it. Destiny said, not intentional. That said, we won't be prioritizing a fix for this in an immediate patch. Have a bit of fun while it lasts. All right, well, there you
go. Enjoy your glaive. No more character restrictions.
There you go. So the fleeting metastasized essentia, they love making words. The fleeting metastasized essentia earned by extracting materials in the Nether will be lost if you don't clear the active combat area you are in. Complete all objectives, defeat the boss, and open the chest that spawns right after to transform fleeting metastasized essentia into the metastasized essentia that will stay in your inventory. Holy crap, I never thought I'd say metastasized so many times in one paragraph. There is no.
Do you feel metastasized?
No, shut up. No. I would never want to feel metastasized. That's cancer, dude. No, you don't want. No. So there is no need to complete a whole run of the Nether, although that's advised if you want to get the most rewards. Okay, so whatever.
So what that means is when you're running through the Nether and you see the big, germ looking, as someone I played with earlier called
the area resources,
the taking COVID. Yeah, so when you pick up the taking COVID and you complete your run or not, so when you get back to Eris's apartment, the big giant magic mirror on the wall, am I the fairest of them all? You go there, to earn your ranks and things. If you pull a 180 from there and run to the far wall and then turn left, there's a little taken orb ball on a little, on a little side table. That's where you're supposed to be dunking these things. So if you've been running a bunch of Nether and not turning those in, go to the little ball in Eris's apartment and you can turn those in.
Yeah.
For piles of loot that you then get to be mad if you're some people about now having to sort through.
I was very guilty of that because I did so many of these. And then I jumped in with Micah. We did a couple more. He brought us to the apartment. He went to the statue and I saw him dunk something. I'm like, what the hell? What's that?
Yeah. So visit your wall, and then on the opposite corner, visit your little taken snow globe. And also go say hi to Eris's worm while you're there. The worm gets lonely now that he's all alone.
But is he alone though? Dun dun dun. Anyway.
Currently, well, not right now because I'm staring at him. But
yeah, currently,
overall, yes.
Exactly, currently. All right. So on the prowl, it's a great aspect, but seems to have 2 bugs. If you kill a target enemy and quickly pass through the smoke to turn invisible many times, it does not select a new target, even if enemies are nearby. Maybe this has something to do with passing through the smoke too quickly, so I guess wait a sec before jumping in. Secondly, the successful hunt buff does not give you any class melee grenade energy when you're at 3 stacks. It works with 1 and with 2, but not 3. Love it. Destiny 2 replies, hey all, thanks for the report/discussion from our SBX-minded team members.
You're going to have to guess at that one because that's all we got to work with.
I mean, my eyes were bad enough to almost see SEX. So I was like, wait a minute. On the Prowl has a 1 second internal cooldown. This can be adjusted in the future if necessary. Number 2, this aspect is currently granting the small chunk of ability energy over the 7-second duration of each stack instead of all at once. This is unintentional and will be fixed in a future update. That said, the energy is fully awarded by the time the buff runs out.
As long as you're alive for 7 seconds.
Right?
Bungie just said get good scrubs.
I mean, not really. They said our stuff's broken and we'll fix it. Maybe. Until then, good luck, is what they said.
Until then, just be a Titan or a Warlock, then you won't have to worry about
it. Shut up. Overload machine gun, it doesn't work. It gives you anti-barrier sidearm instead. What? That's crazy. Team is digging in to see what's up and to resolve abilities, and Thunderlord will be your best friends. Oh my goodness. Oh goodness. Titans, Storm's Keep do not work with Arbor Warden. I'm sure that means something to you guys. Yo, everybody. Just the message to talk about with the new Titans aspect, Storm's Keep. It is an Arbor. I am an Arbor Warden enjoyer. I miss the good, too short, old days of Arbor Warden plus Wishkeeper, and I start to think about a new arc way of throwing a barricade. At the moment, I do not work with SK Storm's Keep. You cannot deliver Isles of Storm everywhere, every day, every nade for you and your mates, and I'm disappointed. Am I alone? Maybe 3. Destiny replied and said, we just checked and this was missed when setting up the content. Oh, okay. And we will issue a fix to make the Storm's Keep aspect work with Arbor Warden in a future update. What is Arbor Warden? Is that a class exotic or something?
Go to the next screenshot.
Okay. Oh, okay. It's a chess piece. Using your class ability channels defensive light inward, providing a grenade that creates a barricade on impact. Oh, so you throw the barricade.
Yeah, that's one I had to look up too because I'm going. I remember it's one of the new ones. Don't remember which one. Yeah, that's
Why
the.
Would you throw your barricade. I guess to help friend, maybe?
Because you want it over there. It's over here right now, but you're like, what if it was over there, though?
Thanks for the report. We're aware of an issue where the standard, special, and heavy ammo bricks in PvE are given 5 to 10% less ammo than intended. This does not affect finder ammo bricks and ammo from other sources, which are unchanged. We are currently working on a fix planned for an upcoming update.
Yeah, so this was in response to a whole long Reddit post of like, hey, I picked up all of these things, and I'm clearly not getting enough ammo like I used to. And Bungie's like, yeah, it's broken. So
yeah,
if you're getting less ammo,
you are. Many other things. We're investigating the following ornament issues. The Solar Storm Titan ornament states that it has a special effect for the Stoicism exotic, but it's meant for Pyro Gale gauntlets. Bungie help. The Synthesept chain piston ornament is not available for use after being purchased, and the Stoicism Hearts Pledge ornament does not show off from the feminine model only. So, hold on. Oh, it's just the ornament issue. Okay, I was thinking it was like an effect or some nonsense. Okay. Reading is power. All right, with that does it for the response report roundup. And now let's talk about the shenanigans with the weapons.
Okay. Did you want to go into the shenanigans with the weapons, or do you want to talk about Heresy? Can we say spoilers from here on in?
For weapon perks? You want?
No, I for the opening act of Heresy. Story
okay, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, go ahead. Do the spoilers. Beep boop, beep boop.
Beep boop, boop. Well, I mean, what an opening to an act, and I think I'm not saying that Bungie have kind of like redeemed themselves from the previous two acts, but I'm saying that this had more kind of weight to it, and I think if the previous acts of Echoes and Revenant had some kind of stakes to them rather than kind of we are just filling in gaps, and there was no resolution to Echoes, there was a kind of slight whimper of an like resolution to the end of Revenant, but if they kind of hit the ground running with this and they knock it out of the park going into Frontiers, I'm not saying that Destiny's back, but I'm saying it's a good few steps to get there. What do you guys think?
You're saying Destiny's so back.
No, I'm not. I'm saying that it because of the way it was kind of set up and the way it kind of went down, and I think with going back to the Dreadnought has kind of helped. And I'm not saying that we should just keep going back to previous things that that have been taken out of Destiny 1 or Destiny 2. But I think the nostalgia thing kind of does help. But it's not just the nostalgia thing. I think it's because of the story from Destiny is continuing, because you're having characters that have been there with us in Destiny 1 and we followed through, like Eris. So we followed Eris from the Dark Below, then we went to the Taken King, and at the end of the Taken King, when we defeated Oryx, spoilers for that anyway, Eris was there and she was doing some shenanigans, and then Shadowkeep, there's more shenanigans, and then Season of the Witch, there's more shenanigans, and and at one point she actually became a hive god, and there's
God of death.
It's just fantastic, and yeah, I think the opening to the season and then just leaving questions for people that either do follow the law or don't follow the law has been quite good. And what do you guys think?
I really enjoyed the story this season so far, and I doubly enjoyed seeing, I can't remember who the narrative person was online, being like, just sharing a collection of screenshots from streamer streams as they played through that opening cinematic. And then just getting to the Dreadnought and just sitting there for a moment being like, what did I just witness? This is what I want, Bungie. Take this, package this. I know I'm never going to get my TV show or my movie. I know we're not going to happen. but this is what I want. These are the stories I want. Like, this is so good. Does it help that it's characters I care about? Yeah, sure. Does it help that it's not, there's something about an Echo that I don't really know what the Echo is or why it's important and no one cares about Fickrel? Yes. Like this opened so good, and gave me chills. And I was so kind of down on this whole like, hey, we're going to the Dreadnought. I'm like, great, we're gonna do the things. We're gonna play Coil on the Dreadnought. Like that was literally like going to Heresy and like, we're gonna go play Coil on the Dreadnought. That's what we're gonna do. Great.
Yeah.
I have had so much fun running through the Dreadnought with my little combo detector on, opening every chest I can find and exploring every nook and cranny and going and playing the events. I'm having a way better time with the Nether than I thought I would.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's really engaging. I like all the secrets. I like all the little side activities. I like just the scope of the place, just the scale of it. Just you can run around with 3 of you and be like, hey, there's a thing over here. There's a thing over here. Hey, I found this thing over here. Hey, let me go grab this chest over here. I don't know. I'm really enjoying like the exploration plus activities with it.
And there's so many areas that are locked off as well. We only get those 3 initial areas. We get kind of the original kind of landing zone that we kind of landed on the Dreadnought. Well, I'd say, I think, it was the original landing zone, wasn't it? When we first played,
no, because the original landing zone.
No.
Okay, no. Okay,
I think we had to fight
the transponder. Yeah,
I think we had to get there to place the transponder. So the original kind of landing point was that bit was looking over a Saturn, wasn't it? So, and we then had to kind of navigate through all the kind of little tunnels. So we've got that area. We've then got the Court of Oryx area, and then I think the other area where you fight, where's all the tangles that have come up, and the ogres down in that kind of bottom area. That is called the Mausoleum. So we haven't actually got to the main area that we kind of fought to before, where there's that big Cabal ship that kind of decided it was going to crash into the Dreadnought, and then we had the Shield Brothers strike through there, didn't we? So that kind of opening landing zone area that we placed the beacon on, we still haven't had access to. And then there's the Darkblade area that you kind of went down that little rope bridge as well. That you kind of go off down to the side of that. You can kind of see some of those areas, but then there are hidden bits. And there was a Cheese Forever video that I believe he put out yesterday, so it must have been just before the dungeon, that you could jump up to a specific area in that Mausoleum area and grab a hidden chest. And when you open the hidden chest, it gave you something from a different act, but it's kind of blocked off with this taken atmosphere. And then I went to try and did it, and nothing happened because it gives you something that you shouldn't really have at this point in time. And then check the comments, and I think it's one of those things that's been patched, a bit like the farming area. I missed out so bad on that farming area. There was at the beginning of like Heresy, you could load into the Dreadnought, the Taken King Dreadnought, go to the Golgroth cellar and just infinitely spawn Thrall and Shadow Thrall and kill them over and over and over and over again, and you would get the currency for this act. And then you could max out Eris's kind of tablet so that you don't, you've done all the different things. It's unlocked everything. And that was patched pretty quick and very quietly as well, so that nobody kind of knew about that. But
sorry, just to derail for a moment. Yeah. So the getting the thing from the chest, because I had seen people saying, "Hey, I got this, I got something, and it doesn't show up in my inventory, doesn't show up on my character. It just seemed to have vanished into the ether." Is that the thing you're talking about?
I think so.
I can't remember the name of it. Yeah. Because I've seen a couple of people before I saw that video being like, like with a screenshot going, "Hey, I got this, I got this thing to drop," but then it just vanished. It's just nowhere, and there's just no indication of it anywhere. Okay.
Yeah, there's 2 hidden chests, and you can open one of them to get to this thing, but it's right up high. You have to kind of jump on the kind of the beams and things, and then kind of I used my Titan with the Lion Ramparts and tangled up there to kind of hover in midair to try and get to it, but it doesn't look like there's an actual way of getting up there. But I love that, the whole kind of all these hidden areas, these areas that are blocked off. There's also the area where we actually fought Oryx for the first time in the Taken King story, which is blocked off by a kind of taken orb as well, where there's like a statue. You see it as you're kind of running through in between that landing zone with the Tormentor and going to kind of the Mausoleum or the Court of Oryx. There's this area just over to the left or the right that's got like these waterfalls running down and these statues. You can kind of jump over there, but you can't kind of access what's behind that, which is quite exciting that, there's more things to come. And places will be unlocked in the next couple of weeks or next couple of acts. And yeah, it's just got this really addictive part to it to play. And I was worried, I'm always kind of enjoying these kind of things, but I was worried that people would just go, yeah, it's the Dreadnought and things like that. But there's actual real excitement, and people are enjoying kind of going and doing these different things. And yeah, I'm like you, like, oh, shiny over there, oh, shiny over there, oh, shiny over there. I'm like, Respawn was shouting at me yesterday, like, where are you now? I'm like, oh, I'm just getting a chest over here. Like, no, we're doing it together. Like,
I kept really opening them, and by the time I get to them, they'd be like either disappearing or freaking.
No, they weren't disappearing. You were just being sad that I wasn't there to hold your hand.
I do really appreciate that the chests that someone on your fire team opens, are open and glowing, versus the ones that are once you've already gotten them and that glow goes away. Because there's so many times I'm going, did I get this chest already? Have I opened this one? Oh no, it's so glowing. Let me go grab that one. It's so good. Like I really was just sort of prepared to go, yeah, it's this, and we did it again, and it's fine, it's whatever. But I'm really enjoying myself. That said, Bungie, I have so many weapons. I have so many weapons. I have so many weapons.
Yeah,
and I'm enjoying them. The new machine gun, great fun. The aerial denial arc grenade launcher, good fun. The silly healing frame auto rifle, which I still never love because it just feels like I'm shooting. Is a Cerberus like it just feels like I'm shooting like Cerberus, sort of like around. It feels like I can role play a stormtrooper. It feels like I'm shooting near an enemy, but never at an enemy with it. So I've never liked the feel of those. There's again a trillion new swords that I haven't touched but exist. Like I don't know. Like I just feel like I'm being the Telesto, the new Telesto firing mode. I've been cackling at. It's so good. I really enjoy it. The stupid Lodestar trace rifle, which again, I was like, it's a trace rifle. I don't really care. But they fixed the problem of running out of ammo infinitely by just saying, immediately by just saying, here, have all the ammo. And I like the sort of like, pulse firing mode that it has.
Yeah.
You can either just say, let me unload into this guy and, shoot every bit I have, or just go pew, 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 and work my way through.
What about you, Respawn? Are you loving the Nether? Are you loving going back to the Dreadnought story? How are you feeling?
Love is not the word I would use. It was fun the first few times. Now it's tedious. And I was talking to Micah last night. I'm like, what am I even chasing? Right? Because when you look at the weapons, even if the weapons are, quote, fun, like what you said, the auto rifle, like, I have what I would consider one of the two best rolls on it, meaning I have one that's got the reciprocity, which when healing projectiles from this weapon strike allies, you also receive a small amount of healing, which I noticed it was healing me more than them in the activity. Like, that seems wrong. And then the Circle of Life, rapidly healing allies, grants this weapon bonus damage, right? And then the only other role that I would even be chasing is Slice with either Hatchling, but I really want Slice with Tear. And Tear is a new perk this season, this episode, whatever, where it says precision final blows can cause nearby targets to become severed. So just by shooting one guy, you can slice him and then sever those around him. So, not bad. And sever, if I remember my verbs correctly, when those guys die, they spawn threadlings, right? Isn't that what severed does?
You tell me.
I'm pretty sure.
Remember.
It has something to do. It either spawns threadlings or it spawns the green ball that you could throw. One or the other. Let me see if I have anything that's got sever. I think I do. Okay, severs. Oh, wait, hold on. That would be the wrong one. That guy.
I was looking at a weapon earlier that had sever on it. I was like, do I need this? Do I not need this?
No, you don't. Make
Sever,
room.
sever.
Make room, Night Demon.
I can't make room. I'm up to 695. I can't make room.
Yes,
There's no room.
Yes,
There's no room for anything.
Yes, you can. You can. Just delete them. All those exotics you can pull back from the collections.
I have. That's the problem.
All that armor for your third character, get rid of them.
They create a tangle is what they do. So when you kill them, they create a tangle. So lots of tangles everywhere. Everybody gets a tangle. So, yeah, other than that, I don't really see any good rolls on it. People have been trying to tell me about subsistence. and some guy said subsistence and kill clip. I'm like, those actively work against each other. What the hell are you talking about, right? So I'm not a fan of the rolls on any of these weapons, if I'm being honest.
Why does subsistence work against kill clip? It refills your magazine when you get kills.
Right, but you have to physically reload in order for kill clip to proc.
Yeah, so I do that, and then I get kills, and then I get more ammo.
What?
Weapon kills refills 10% of the magazine from reserves. So
right.
You get kills, you proc your kill clip, you get more kills, you get more ammo to keep killing with that kill clip.
I don't think it procs kill clip though, because when I tried it, my kill clip wasn't procking. So let me double check. Hold on.
Are you sure your kill clip's broken?
Lots of things are freaking broken. Who knows?
Upon finishing a reload within 3.6 seconds of a
nope, right here. Kill clip needs you to reload, so you can't proc kill clip if you don't need to reload. I was right. Yeah, subsistence does not proc kill clip, just like I thought.
Right. But does kill? But once you get the kill and you reload the clip, procking kill clip, then you
but then subsistence is pointless, right? You wouldn't need subsistence if you're going to reload anyway.
But subsistence lets you kill longer with the clip you've reloaded. So you're getting more damage with that kill clip as it reloads and gives you more ammo.
Subsistence only lasts, kill clip only lasts, 6 seconds? Somebody correct me? I think it's 6 seconds.
It doesn't say.
3, okay, so 5 seconds. I was close. It lasts for 5 seconds. And with this gun, you're
not killing fast enough.
Do you even have a magazine after 5 seconds? I don't know. But either way, I don't think that's a very good combo. Now, if you wanted to go with subsistence and frenzy, or subsistence and attrition orbs, perhaps, that's one thing. I mean, subsistence can go with a lot of these subsistence hatchling, right? I just don't think subsistence kill clip is the way to go, right? And that's for the adamantite.
Adamantite,
strand.
Yep,
adamantite strand auto rifle. Whatever, adamantine, whatever, adamantium, who cares? It's the Wolverine gun. Now, the sword has some potential, but again, it is a sword. So you have the Relentless Strikes.
But it's got sword logic on it. It's only logical.
I know. You have Relentless Strikes, which is always good on the sword. It also comes with Slice, so when you damage an enemy, they do less damage to you. Always good when you're in melee range. And then you can pair Slice with Surrounded, so you weaken them and then do more damage to them if you're surrounded. You also have Sword Logic. Final blows with this weapon grant bonus damage. The strength and duration of the bonus increases the more powerful the target you defeated is, right? So that compare with like Relentless Strikes, you can put that with Slice, right? If you're an on-guard guy, like maybe Night Demon, quick attacks immediately after swapping to the sword do additional damage, maybe? I personally have a Slice hatchling roll that's pretty funny. So as I'm weakening enemies, I'm killing them, and as I'm killing them, they're spawning threadlings to do preemptive damage to other things, and then it's easier for me to kill that thing, so that's kind of fun. And they have redirection on a sword. Now, redirection, damaging rank and file combatants, increases damage against more powerful foes. So you use the sword to kill a few ads, and then you run over to, I don't know, a champion or something, and then you just do nutty damage. So that could also work with Relentless Strikes. And I've said Relentless Strikes a lot, but so you guys know, especially the new lights, Relentless Strikes is landing 3 light attack hits within a short duration, grants sword ammo. So you're getting ammo while redirection is proccing, so, I mean, whatever. The sword has some potential, but again, it is a sword. Jumping from the sword to the Psycho Pump grenade launcher. I had such high expectations because these weapons look so cool, and I especially love the grenade launcher. And the first time I fired it, no, I did not read the description. I found out it was an area of denial weapon. I'm like, okay, I can work with this.
Yes, you can. They're so much fun. I love the area denial weapons.
They're fun, but this guy doesn't have like the perks that I would be looking for. Like, I don't understand Rolling Storm. Do you guys understand what Rolling Storm does? It says final blows grant bolt charge. While amplified, final blows grant additional bolt charge. Now, bolt charge is what? Like you get charged up and then you use an ability and you bring down lightning? Is that what that is?
Bolt charge is the new, it's the new Titan aspect that I'm looking for the actual description of. So I can tell you exactly what bolt charge is, because I'm putting together a Plunder the Booty build right now featuring our friend the bolt charge.
I'm also rocking a Plunder the Booty build that I'll get into later that has like no healing on it, but it's the best build that I've been able to use for the Nether in the harder levels, even without healing, and I'll explain it later. Okay, so while Peroty's looking for that, I'm not sure what Rolling Thunder does. It could have potential, but
yeah, I mean it plays into the new aspect. So the bolt charge is, where is it? I'm thinking of store and keep cash ability, granting amount of bolt charge stacks to you and your nearby allies. All by hand, you get bolt charge over time. Weapon is discarded a certain amount of bolt charge stack. But what, dear Bungie, tell me what bolt charge is.
If you're looking at your aspect, it tells you what the verb does at the bottom of the aspect.
Sorta, kinda. While behind your barricade, you and your allies gain stacks of bolt charge over time, and your weapons can discharge max stacks of bolt charge.
So your weapon can discharge bolt charge. Okay. So the weapon builds on bolt charge, and when your stacks are at 15, I believe is the number, if I remember correctly, you bring down a bolt of lightning, which does, AOE damage, right? Okay. Not awful. I would have much preferred to see either Volt Shot, but more specifically, the other one that causes Volt. What's the other perk that causes Volt?
Jolting feedback.
That one, yes. That one would have been so much better because it's an area of denial, so the constant damage would have proc jolting feedback, I feel, right? So, I think that would have been much better than whatever Rolling Storm does. Full Court, do not be fooled. Full Court is so hard to proc on this friggin' weapon. So if you want a damage perk, go with Frenzy. It's so much easier to proc than Full Court. Just it's misleading on this grenade launcher, and I'm very aggravated about that, right? And that's in the first column. So Unrelenting, meh. Demolitionist, you can work on that if you got a grenade-centric build. Rolling Storm, meh. Full Court, do not use. It's awful. Frenzy, okay. Elemental Honing, haven't figured this one out yet either. Me and Micah really talked about this, and neither one of us can really figure out what the hell it does. It says dealing unique elemental damage grants the weapon a stacking damage bonus. This bonus is increased for kinetic weapons. Now, does that mean like I shoot with my stasis gun, and then I shoot with my solar heavy, and then I swap to this gun, and now this gun has 2 stacks? Or do the ability elemental damages count? Because I have everything. I have solar, I have stasis, I have arc in my kit, and I proc those on enemies, and I didn't see any stacks popping up on this weapon. So I don't know how to make elemental honing do a thing, So if somebody could explain elemental honing to me, I'd appreciate it. But as of right now, in my opinion, because I don't know how it works, this perk seems stupid. Don't use it unless you know what the hell is going on with this guy. Or with that perk, sorry. And then you have Harmony, Final Blows with other weapons improve this weapon's damage and performance for a short time. So that could potentially pair with Envious Assassin, which dealing damage with both other weapons before readying this weapon refills it from reserves. That is a really roundabout way of playing, but if you really want to play that way, you can. It comes with Eddy Current in that 3rd slot. It comes with Ambitious Assassin, which is usually good on any grenade launcher. Feeding Frenzy is pretty good. Pugilist, again, if you're looking for an ability-centric build, again, you compare Pugilist with Demolitionist. Pretty good to go. Stats for all, and then Threat Detector. So overall, not extremely happy with the perks on this gun. People are saying Ambitious Assassin and Rolling Storm is the way to go, but because Rolling Storm to me is kind of a meh area, I don't know how true that is. Give us your feedback. Now, the Watchful Eye. Lots of potential. I got a lot of rolls on this gun, and they're really, really fun. Right?
Before we move to the Watchful Eye, I did find, because there was a perk I wanted to look up, and I couldn't remember which perk it was, and it was that one, going, what's the unique elemental damage? So Reddit has answered the question. So each stack comes from, dealing some amount of damage with a unique element. For example, the gun itself could be Arc, is one stack. And then you throw an Arcane Needle, that's Strand. Nova Bomb, Void, Hellion, Solar. Some stasis weapon. So that'll give you up to 5 stacks.
So it's just like general elemental damage. I could not get it to proc.
Yeah.
Now, is it just not showing the stacks? Am I getting the damage and just not seeing the stacks?
That's what. Yeah. I mean, I have to find one and play with it to know. But basically, it is literally like throw on your prismatic kit and roll through different a different elemental damage, and then once you do that, so stack 1 is a 2.5% increase, and then it goes to a 10% increase, 20% increase, and then a 30% increase. And I think it maxes out at 40% buff when you have the full stacks. Now, I don't know if it shows the stacks. So that's one thing I don't think I've gotten a weapon, or at least I haven't noticed a weapon with this on it yet.
Does it tell you how many stacks is max? Is it
goes
5?
up to 5. Yeah, it goes up to 5 stacks for a 40% boost. And I don't know for how long. Some people have run some numbers, but it's all like, here's what I've done. Let's see what happens. So, once people have time to play with it, then we'll have the community insight and Tim will tell us. But it's basically, kind of what it sounds like, I guess, is cycle through different damage types. It'll give you stacks, visible or not, I do not know. But then
I'll give it another go because I got one with that roll. So I'll give it another go to see. I'll just spam my elemental abilities and see if I can notice the damage numbers change.
Yeah,
I'll give that another go. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't know where exactly because it feels like a DPS thing, but you're like, what if I just do I plink the boss with 4 different things and then I can get a 40% boost on something?
You're not DPSing a boss with
and is it strong enough?
Grenade launcher, brother.
Well, right. Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, where do I use this? Where is this good? But yeah, but
I guess it's just like if you're like me, like I have Strand that I just throw out all the time. Whenever I dodge, they get the stasis. I have Gunpowder Gamblet, which is my solar, right? So I have 3 right there just for spamming my abilities. Just boom, right there. And then if I have a different element on 2 of my guns, that would be the 6. So I could potentially have just by existing 5 different Elijah.
Yeah. So something you can just roll through and sort of, I mean, not passively, but almost passively proc just by playing the game, and then it gives you more damage.
Yeah. If it does work like that,
is it useful?
That could be a good perk. I'll give it another shot.
Yeah,
I think the thing is that you need space in the vault to kind of collect these things and then go through them and play with them, and that is still one of the issues that is not being addressed.
So the Watchful Eye, the machine gun that doesn't seem to do a whole lot of damage, but like Peroty said, is very fun to use and it's really cool to look at, if I'm being honest. So I've got a lot of rolls on this gun. My favorite one so far is Field Prep with my options of either Jolting Feedback or Target Lock. It was a masterwork that I got, right? So I have double perks on the whole gun. Field Prep, obviously, for more ammo, because ammo is hard to get in the Nether, especially heavy. So Field Prep just gives you overall increased reserves, right? And then Jolting Feedback, because it's Jolting Feedback. Or Target Lock, if you're trying to do like just boss damage or whatever, So both great options. You can also get the double perks of Willing Vessel, dealing damage or defeating targets with this weapon gradually grants increased stability, handling, reload speed, and charge rate. Reload speed on a machine gun, yes. Absolutely yes.
Please and thank you.
Yeah, this effect gradually decreases over time, but is gained more quickly while near allies. Yeah, and with my 80-round magazine, yeah, I max it out every time. You can also get Runneth Over. Reloading near allies overflows the magazine. Bows receive faster draw time and swords receive faster charge rate. So you basically have a built-in overflow if you go with Runneth Over and you reload their teammate, right? So this 80-round magazine could jump to 160 real quick. I think it is even more if you're near more allies, isn't it? You do get more. You get overflow just by being near allies, okay? So another really good perk. But listen to the options you can get on this gun, right? So column 4, Sword Logic, another damage perk. Target Lock, a damage perk. Surrounded, damage perk. Killing Tally, a damage perk. So if you could proc Runneth Over and you have overflow, could you get a 320 round magazine? Because if you're doubling it from 80 to 160, and then you double that from 160 to 320, potential? We'll see.
I think they capped this at some point, but I'd have to go back and refer to the what things stack with what.
Right. But anyway, that sounds like good fun. We have Rolling Storm as well. And then you have, of course, Jolting Feedback, which the longer you shoot a target, lightning strikes on them, like a legendary version of Thunderlord, right? Third column, pretty interesting. Eddy Current, if you're into that. I'm not. Field Prep, I already described what that is. Hipfire Grip, meh. Wellspring, kills with this weapon generate ability energy. This energy is divided between your uncharged abilities. Again, if you're running an ability build, there you go. Mulligan, if you miss a shot, there's a chance that it goes right back into your magazine. Again, meh. Dynamic sway reduction. Again, meh. But, again, you do have overflow. So you can potentially get bonkers-sized magazines without having to be a Titan with the War Pig on. So, yes. Overflow with Killing Tally sounds like a beautiful, beautiful thing. But yeah, lots of really good rolls on this gun. Very fun to use. Just yes. Just yes. And it looks gorgeous. Look at this. Look at this thing with the super black on. Is that not the sexiest thing you've ever seen for those that are watching the stream? That is absolutely gorgeous. Anyway.
And for those of you who are listening, tell Respawn to send you a picture.
Oh, did I already have? Hold on. Shift Control T. I had the Watchful Eye twice. So what weapon did I miss? Because I accidentally had Watchful Eye twice. We went over the sword. We went over the auto rifle. Well, the Adept version just lets you add Adept mods. Now, for those of you that aren't in the know, there are 4 different ways your weapons can drop in the Nether. You can get the standard legendary version, right? Which just has the 1 perk in each column. You can get the Masterworked standard version. I say standard because there are Adept, okay? So you can get the Masterworked standard versions, which have 2 perks in each column, which is the one that, if you're watching the stream, what you see right now. You have Adept versions, which obviously is Adept. And then you have the Adept Masterworked, which I haven't played with anybody that's even seen one yet, but I hear that they exist. And it's just
so
the
they
Adept
might not exist then.
Well, no, because one of the streamers posted a picture of the auto rifle Masterwork Adept with 2 perks in each column, supposedly.
I haven't seen Masterwork anything once yet, so that's fun.
So yeah, you can definitely. Well, you didn't play on the hard mode. I've been playing a lot on the hard mode, so I have a lot of Masterworks. I have a lot of Adepts, but I don't have a single Masterwork Adept.
So do those only come from the hard mode then?
There's a chance you can get them from the regular mode, but the chance dramatically goes up if you go into a harder mode. You can absolutely get them in an easy mode. It's a low drop rate.
Yeah, I got the Watchful Eye Adept because which is worth mentioning. We sort of buried the lead. You can get Adept things out of the harder versions of the Nether.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, see, like here's the Adept version right here, but I only got Wellspring and Jolting Feedback, which isn't awful. It's not awful, but it's not what I want. It's not what I want, bruv. So yeah. I don't think I missed any weapons.
So he says he's not enjoying it, but it sounds like he's enjoying.
I'm enjoying one gun. One gun.
Did you talk about the Eyes Unveiled?
The Eyes Unveiled. No, I don't think I did. Let me look it up.
Linear fusion rifle.
Oh, that's right. I did not discuss that. All right, there we go. Now this one is unique. So.
Question mark?
Yeah, like this is a heavy linear. Okay, heavy being the key word there. And on this heavy linear, you can get the combo of Subsistence and Reservoir Burst. What? So this is an ad clearing combo on a heavy linear fusion rifle. Just okay, sure, but we'll go over all the perks before we talk about the combos. All right, so you have successful warm up. Each final blow increases the charge time, which is good. Withering Gaze, aiming down this weapon for a short period, 1 second, without firing grants the ability to weaken the next target. The timer resets after firing or when you stop aiming down the sights. Sorry, you have to ADS for 1.5 seconds. I forgot they nerfed it. My bad. Chain Reaction, again, another ad clear perk. Discord, final blows with another weapon. Grant this weapon increased speed for aiming down sights, accuracy, and airborne effectiveness for a short time. And while Discord is active, Final Blows refund ammo. Okay. Adagio could be good. It's got potential. You got Frenzy. And then, of course, like I said, Reservoir Burst. Now, don't discount Reservoir Burst because I'll tell you why it's good on this heavy linear fusion rifle in a minute. So just stand by. In the third column, we have Hipfire Grip. You have Perfect Float. You have Field Prep for more ammo reserves, right? You have Triple Tap, which is what people normally seek in boss DPSs. But I would avoid that on this, and I'll tell you why. You have Subsistence, again. You have Overflow, which is what you want to get. You want to get Overflow, and you want to get Reservoir Burst. And I'll tell you why. Because Reservoir Burst works when your magazine is full. Any rounds you shoot while your magazine is full procs Reservoir Burst. And Overflow overflows your magazine, right? So all those rounds above your magazine's max capacity is going to get the Reservoir Burst damage.
Is it, though?
Yeah.
Or is this you speculating that if it goes above? Or have you heard it on the grapevine? I'm asking for clarity, that's all.
I'm second guessing myself now, but I'm pretty sure I've got this on another fusion rifle that it does do that.
Okay.
I haven't had it on a linear fusion rifle. I had it on a fusion rifle, I believe. I am fairly not. Man, you got me second guessing myself. I was all confident, and then he came up in here like a wrecking ball. He came in like a wrecking ball.
Well, it says on D2 Foundry.
I'm going to say yes, and if it don't work,
on D2 Foundry, it says while the magazine is at or above maximum capacity, it grants a 25% increase to damage and causes enemies to explode on death.
So I was right. You just made me second guess myself.
Well, no, I was just clarifying because I didn't know that, so I wanted to find out.
Yeah. All right. Now, I did have an argument with somebody else. So, like, no, you want Ambitious Assassin and Reservoir Burst. No, you don't. Because Ambitious Assassin gives you extra rounds in your magazine based on how many enemies you've killed with this gun. So, you would have to kill ads with this gun, then reload, and then get the larger magazine for Reservoir Burst. That's not what you want. No, you want to just pull it out with Overflow active, double magazine size, and then you just go ham for 7 rounds. Right? So assuming you have a 6-round mag, it starts at 5. I think you can go up to 6. Maybe 7? But definitely 6 for sure. So you can have 6 rounds plus the 1 with your regular magazine, 7 rounds total of bonus damage with this gun. That is actually kind of nice, you know? So yeah, that's not bad. I saw a linear fusion rifle, immediately my nose went in the air. But when I saw the Reservoir Burst with the Overflow, I changed my mind. That is a really, really good roll. And yeah, of course, they're saying the curated roll is Subsistence and Reservoir Burst because why?
If you put a backup mag on it, it gives you 7.
So you can't get 7. All right, excellent. So you can have 8 rounds.
Yeah, it doesn't look like if you put enhanced battery on there, it says plus magazine. I'm not sure if it does give you anything extra, but maybe it does. But on D2 Foundry, it doesn't look like you can get anything. But I could be wrong.
Above 7, you mean? 7 smacks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right. Yeah.
And if I had particle reconstruction for that, for dealing my sustained damage, it'll partially refill my magazine from reserves and give me bonus damage.
Particle what?
Particle reconstruction from the seasonal artifact.
Oh, that's right.
We didn't do the
seasonal artifact stuff yet.
There's fusion rifle, there's fusion rifle and the new fusion rifle things hidden in there.
Yep, dealing sustained damage with fusion rifles or linear fusion rifles partially refills the magazine from reserves and grants some bonus damage. Well, no, that really wouldn't work with Reservoir Burst unless it procs at the top half of the magazine and it maxes out your magazine. But there's potential there, I suppose.
Yeah, it says if you click Enhance and do the Overflow magazine, you can go up to 16 in the magazine.
So 8 and 8. Nice, dude. you can potentially have 9 rounds of reservoir burst before you even get to your regular magazine capacity. That's kind of nutty. That is actually kind of nutty. Woo! All right. But again, heavy linear fusion rifle, so use at your own discretion? Question mark?
Is that all the weapons done?
I do believe, yeah. I think that was the last one that I missed.
Oh, we're not talking about the reprised ones, are we?
I didn't want to because they're reprised, and I think it's lazy. But if you want to, if you found something interesting, go ahead.
No. I'm just going to say, I was looking for one that did something with my Temptations hook. So, they've got one with chain reaction. So each final blow with this weapon creates an elemental damage explosion. So I'm quite happy with that. That's something different that I didn't have on it. Yeah, and I can enhance it. So everything goes boom a lot more.
See, I took this as a sign that I should delete a bunch of the old ones that I had, because if you're going to bring them back, there'll probably be something better that I want on them.
Yeah,
so I can just get rid of the old ones. I don't need them anymore.
Yeah,
there's a couple I've hung on to that I actually use, but the other ones I'm storing just in case. I'm going, well, that case is gone. Goodbye.
This is your weekly rundown of episode Heresy, week 2, starting on February 11th. This week sees Act 1 of episode Heresy continue, where Guardians are being tasked with fighting back the Dread and Taken on Oryx's Dreadnought and locating the missing Echo. This act has a new 3-player activity set within the Dreadnought patrol zones called the Nether, where Guardians can fight in random and varied encounters with different events and objectives every time. Inside the Nether, players will find unique modifiers and stackable buffs called boons. They increase your power over time. These come in minor, major, and corrupted versions, and various pickups can be hidden in chests and earned throughout the Dreadnought. The Nether has 3 modes: the Nether Exploration for those solo types who want to just explore the Dreadnought, a match-made mode on baseline advanced difficulty, and a selectable non-match-made expert version. Also this weekend, Trials of Osiris returns, bringing with it a whole new way to earn rewards. But don't worry, as the thrill, excitement, and heart-racing action is still going to be at the core of the game mode, and Sate14 is still going to be bringing his exclusive loot to the table for Guardians to earn. 7 wins on a Lighthouse Passage card will now guarantee you entrance to the fabled Lighthouse simulation on Mercury, regardless of how many losses are on your card, with additional rewards available for win streaks. Loot available this episode include the Cafu exotic ghost shell, the Sacred Bark exotic ship, the Amulet S exotic sparrow, and the Lighthouse Keeper emblem. Plus we have the returning Void adaptive frame hand cannon Exalted Truth, a new weapon is the solo aggressive frame sniper Keen Thistle, plus a new set of armour for each class, the Jackal Heart set for the Titans, the Falcon Wing set for the Warlocks, and the Cat Eye set for the Hunters. As this is the second week of the episode, we still won't know the order of the legendary lost sectors and featured weapons until we've had a full rotation. And as we found out last week, some of our legacy rotations have also been reset or changed as well, but most have continued in the same order from episode Revenant. From Act 3 of episode Revenant, we have the new exotic mission Kel's Fall, where you can earn the new Void exotic shotgun Slayer's Fang, and new Prison of Elders challenge Kel's Vengeance, which can be found over in the Last City for 2 to 3 players. Act 2 of episode Revenant brought with it the Tomb of Elders, and Contest of Elders over in the Last City, which can be accessed after you complete the initial steps of Act 2. Also available for a weekly pinnacle is the Salvation's Edge raid, over in the Pale Heart, and new dungeon Sundered Doctrine, which can be found over on the Throne World, with the exotic linear fusion rifle Finality's Ager up for grabs, and a whole suite of new weapons and armour. Just make sure to visit Icor over in the tower to pick up the quest Drowning Labyrinth to enter. Over in the Last City we have Onslaught Salvation, which can be accessed after you complete the initial steps of the opening act of Revenant. This new version of Onslaught brings with it new defences, 3 new mats and new enemies to fight. You can select from Widow's Court, Eventide Ruins and Kel's Grave, either normal or expert. Also, the original Onslaught has been updated to include some of the new additions. Located in the Vanguard playlist, the featured Onslaught map this week will be Midtown, with the Field Razor Tormentor kicking off the boss rotation. In the Last City on the Helm, the exotic mission Encore is still available, with 2 difficulty options, normal and expert. Also, from episode Echoes, we have the 3 new Battleground activities, Delve, Conduit and Core, with Enigma Protocol and Breach Executable. The expert Battlegrounds will start this week's rotation with Delve. The Dreaming City this week is at a strong curse level, which means Petrovenge can be found in Ria Silvia and has the Dark Monastery mission for the next week. The Blind World features Taken enemies and the Plague Inamina. The Ascendant Challenge will be Ouroboros over in the Affiliates Rest Lost sector. On the Moon, the weekly story mission is in the Deep. The Trove Guardian is located in the Hellmouth, while the Wandering Nightmare is the Nightmare Zortal in Sorrow's Harbour. Nightmare hunts Crota, Despair, Omnigul, Anguish, and Fanatic Insanity. The Altars of Sorrow will start this week's rotation with the Nightmare of Fogoth and the Blasphemer Shotgun. On Europa this week, Praxisi Technocrat will be the Empire Hunt, Cadmus Ridge will be the Eclipse Zone, and the Exo Challenge will be Safeguard. Days of Eternity Expert difficulty rounds are Hive, Fallen, and Valister Arc. The Scatterhorn armor set and the Lightkin armor set will be available in Days of Eternity with Weapon Set 3. Chroma Rush, Ignition Code, Grid Skipper, Farewell, Sonja's Tale, Shattered Cipher, Main Ingredient, Long Shadow, Last Dance, Toil and Trouble, Wishbringer, and Last Perdition. The Witch Queen Weekly Story mission is The Ritual, Altar of Reflection's Choice, and Altar of Reflection's Insight. The Wellspring activity will start the week on Defense, with the Arc Grenade Launcher, Tarnation, and Vazul Solar Scorn Chieftain as the boss. The Lightfall Weekly mission is Breakneck, the Partition mission will be Hard Reset, and the Vex Incursion will be Liming Harbour. In the Pale Heart, the exotic mission Dual Destiny is still available for teams of 2 Guardians, where you can farm the mission to earn as many new prismatic exotic class items as you like. The Final Shakes Cooperative Focus campaign mission this week will be Ascent. The 12 Guardian Matchmade Excision mission is also available next to the race for a weekly pinnacle, with the Grandmaster version granting the Ergo Sum Catalyst and an Ascendant Shard. The Salvation Jade Raid Challenge this week is the 4th encounter, Verity, called Varied Geometry. The Root of Nightmares Raid Challenge this week is the 3rd encounter, Macrocosm, called Cosmic Equilibrium. The Vow the Disciple Challenge this week is the 4th encounter, Rogue, called Looping Catalyst. The Vault of Glass Challenge this week is the 3rd encounter, Templar, called Out of Its Way. The Deepstone Crypt Challenge this week is the 2nd encounter, Atrax 1, called Copies of Copies. And the Last Wish Challenge this week is the 1st encounter, Kali, called Summoning Ritual. Featured Pinnacle Raid 1 will be Kingsfall over in the Legends tab, and featured Pinnacle Raid 2 will be the Garden of Salvation over on the Moon, with all challenges available for all encounters. With the exotic Scout Rifle Touch of Malice being farmable from the final boss in Kingsfall, and the exotic Trace Rifle Divinity being acquired via completing the raid puzzles in Garden. Also, the Garden of Salvation weapons are now craftable, with the red borders being farmable for the week. Plus, you can grab a quest from Hawthorne in the tower for a guaranteed red border on a full completion. And because we've had another dungeon added to this episode, it's altered the rotation. Pinnacle Dungeon 1 should be the Pit of Heresy on the Moon, and Pinnacle Dungeon 2 should be the Ghost of the Deep in the Legends tab. The exotic mission rotator will be Operation Seraph Shield, with the Revision Zero exotic pulse rifle being the main reward, the Season of the Seraph weapon set, and Ikelos weapon set, with the Warmind's Avatar armor set. The exotic missions The Whisper and Zero Hour will also be available in the Legends tab. This week's challenges are Echoed Warning Part 2, Heretical Arsenal, Sigil Cracker, Focused Scriptures, Frozen Weave, Large Arm Soulfire, Taken Destroyer, and Bank on It. Our second featured Nightfall was Safe against Darkblade Kelgroth in the Heist Battlegrounds Mars. The Shadow Price Auto Rifle should be the featured Adept weapon. The 6v6 playlist will be Control. The 6v6 Quick Play mode should be Relic, Countdown in the 3v3 playlist, Hardware Mix in Crucible Labs, and Trials of Osiris at the weekend. This week should also see bonus Gambit ranks available all week. Still available is the Destiny 10th Anniversary in-game celebration event, and don't forget to keep an eye on Zer this Friday at Reset to see if he's offering another chance to grab a random rolled exotic class item for 41 strange coins. And that's it for the second week of the Final Shape episode Heresy.
You said that some of the actors' lines would be cut because of the Screen Actors Guild, right?
No, I didn't say that. Bungie said that.
Bungie said that. Okay.
We read that last week, yes.
Well, Bungie said they were cut, but they didn't say why.
Well, okay.
I mean, that is why, but
I had no voice lines, and I didn't have any names of who was speaking, so I was quite lost. Whenever, I'm like, who's saying what?
I think there was a little bit of confusion in the Destiny 2 community about, why they weren't there and what was the reasons behind it. And we were talking about the SAG-AFTRA strikes and things. Apparently, it's still going on. There's still kind of issues with it, which is why it's still not in the game. So that's just kind of to let people know that it's still an ongoing thing. So that's why it's still not happening. But yeah, I keep getting texts come up on the screen. If I fly to a planet and then come back to orbit, I get loads of texts along the bottom from the drifter going, hey, look at this. Look at what we've been doing. Look at moon dust.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah, but there's no subtitles. Yeah, there's something that, and now I can't remember if I read it on the show or read it earlier this week where they said, there's a bunch of places in subtitles that we missed who is speaking. And for those of you who are sitting here going, no, the SAG-AFTRA thing's over. So that's the Screen Actors Guild, American Federation of Radio and Television Artists. So basically, TV and movies, that was resolved. They have a contract. But about the same time, the video game, voice actors in this case, contract has come up and they've been on strike for a while, which has affected a lot of things. EA, Epic Games, Insomniac Games, Take-Two, Warner Brothers, Activision, Disney character voices. There's a massive, because again, I mean, it's basically, if you're working, you're unionized, and this is the union. So there's a ton of people, a ton of voice actors who, want to get paid for their work and aren't. Which, a number of people said, well, then why do we have some of the voice lines in the game and some not? Which I'm guessing that, the voice lines we do have were probably recorded well ahead of time because they're, characters that we see season in and season out. The people who they grab who, record lines here and there, yeah, those were probably not done months in advance. And thus, by the time they were like, hey, we need to book time with you. No, you're not.
Psych.
Yeah, but it's super confusing being in orbit, being like, look, there's lines being said or posted on the screen without context and the speaker and anything else.
Somebody's saying them. But yes, that really threw me off. And
Eris.
Yeah, Eris. Yeah.
Eris
So
Drifter.
Why did y'all think it was so good? Like,
I think it was just that it was
because the Drifter finally gets his due, gets his moment in the sun after being forgotten.
No, I think it's because it hints it gives you various different story possibilities. Now, Eris meets untimely death due to a taken looking tormentor.
Disclaimer, maybe not.
Well, no. I've watched the Bungie video this week.
No, like she dies like 100%. Like, yeah, she gets stabbed through. She gets run through real good. Yeah. Now, I'd say, did you try to avoid?
I don't think she's dead. She has a throne world, and they can't be killed unless they're in their throne.
Death notwithstanding, I'm just saying she could have tried to get out of the way. I think she wanted it because I'm just saying she didn't try. One, she's using a hand cannon. That's your first mistake. Two, you could have moved. See, what I've learned so far is we're 2 for 2. Players with characters with hand cannons get murdered. So just you're rolling with a shotgun in a bubble, you're good to go. You'll live for seasons and seasons and kill an entire alien race. You try to use a hand cannon, you're 0 for 2. I'm just saying it's Bungie canon at this point.
So yeah, Eris is dead, and we kind of complete our little cutscene, and we find out that Eris is somewhere else, and it's all kind of left open for speculation.
She's got a throne world, bro.
Well, we were talking yesterday, weren't we, Respawn? It could be her throne world, but Bife says no because she gave that all up. And watching the Bife video, which I'll link in the show notes, it's a possibility that it could be Ziva Arath's throne world that she's in, and she stole it from Ziva Arath at some point, or it could be her throne world. It could be Oryx's throne world. It could be that she is Ziva Arath. There are so many different possibilities, and I think the most creepy one is if she is Ziva Arath and she's been playing us this whole time, taking out Crota, taking out the Taken King. She's the one that's been guiding us, leading us by the hand to take out the Hive, and then doing all these sneaky things in the background. At the end of the Taken King, he stabs his sword in the ground.
Yes.
And it crumbles, and there's a jewel that comes out of it, which we create, the exotic swords in Destiny 1 with.
Yep.
But she has that thing, her Ahamkara bone inside the orb. There are so many different things that woman is like doing that is dodgy, and it's just, I mean, it could be that she is just Eris, and somehow she's got into a throne world, and I mean, even more spoilers from that.
Well,
if you
even if she did give up her throne world, right? She's still, even if it's from a wish, she's at least partially Hive. She's got the 3 eyes,
Yeah.
Kind of the wish to get out of the
not disputing
Hive
that.
nest,
I'm saying it's a really interesting story because it's this character that's been with us since Destiny 1 that has so much scope. That keeps coming back into the story every now and then, and it teasing us with different things. And as I said yesterday, we've never seen Ziva Arath. Ziva Arath could have been with us from the beginning, even though Bungie may have not wanted it that way, but they could have turned the story to be that she is Ziva Arath at some point. I'm not saying that she is, but it's a very interesting kind of way. And the laugh that she gives, you just don't know whether that is her, cackling the fact that she's led us all down this path, and she's getting her own way, and this thing on the Dreadnought and the proto worm, which was Asa, which was the whale thing that we met in Season of the Deep, has all these ties to the homeworld of the Hive before they were the Hive. And it's all these things that kind of, I think this episode is going to kind of weave together. It's really interesting. And even more spoilers, if you go back and you watch, I think it's the trailer for Act 1. In the trailer for Act 1, Eris is in that kind of throne world thing that we find, she's cackling in it when we leave her. But she's running around and dodging these huge swords being dropped from the sky from this Oryx character. And she's running around with that new exotic, that one that's the circular bone thing. So there's even more spoilers of possible things that, rescuing her, you get that exotic. It could be Oryx's throne world for all we know, as I said, because of that little snippet in the trailer. So that was quite interesting.
Is Eris currently a Hive God? Because that's one thing I thought she was, but I feel like I heard Bife tell me she wasn't.
She gave it up at the end of... I think she gave it up at the end of the season where she tricked Savathun into giving her the powers to become the Hive Witch. We then did all the rune stuff and all the different card things with her. And then at the end, to take the power away from Ziva Arath to kind of normalize her, I think that's how she kind of vaguely remember her kind of giving up that power and becoming Eris again. But is that all a trick from Ziva Arath? I know Savathun was kind of meant to be the trixier one out of but as nobody's kind of seen Ziva Arath, and we don't know what she's just meant to be the is it the goddess of war, I believe?
Yeah, war.
Was it war or death?
War. Yeah, so Eris isn't currently a Hive God. Yeah, because I was there going, no, I played a whole season where we were playing with tarot cards and building her Hive godliness, and then I was like, oh, is she not actively a Hive God?
But who's to say that she wasn't a Hive God and she just wanted to take Savathun's power to make herself even more powerful and trick us into thinking that she's taken out Ziva Arath, even though she is Ziva Arath?
She doesn't have to be Ziva Arath just to trick us to maintain power.
No, but I suppose no. But what I'm saying is that
she could just be corrupted now. Just full stop.
Yeah, I mean, it makes no sense how she was the only survivor from below, and then she's led us into the dark below. We've taken out Oryx and Crota, and we've taken out other people along the way that have kind of got in the way of the Hive, and she's magically kind of transported us out of kind of the depths of the moon when we've got into trouble and things. It's all a bit suspicious. I know that she, helped create Mara's throne world and she has that kind of knowledge of how to do these different things, but it's very interesting. It's an exciting story. I think that's what it is. And I think that's what was missing from Act 1, or no, not Act 1, Episode 1 and Episode 2. Yes, we did like Mithrax and we liked Ido and...
Well enough.
His name is Mithrax.
We liked it, but I think it would have added
hanging out.
Instead of just us going to the laboratory and seeing him hooked up to servitors, I think it would have been a bit more of a kind of interesting story beat to see him actually doing fighting and seeing the Nezarec thing trying to take him over before they, Ido realized that she needed to hook him up to kind of see if she can get. I don't think because we hadn't got any of that kind of stakes in a cutscene, I think it was kind of lost. I think at that point it would have then made more sense. And with the echoes, kind of choosing different powers, it was kind of it just seems kind of a whim kind of thing, and us not actually having any resolve with Maya Sunderesh kind of thing. Although that might be interesting when it comes back, but the initial kind of telling of that story didn't seem to kind of grab people.
Is that the lady that went away in the Vex Milk River?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. I mean, like just that whole storyline with Fickrel and them. I'm like, I don't care about any of these characters. Like, I don't. I'm like, come, go, be here, not be here, be hooked up, not. I'm like, I just don't care. Like, you're all like bit player characters that I just have no emotional investment in. So it's like, go do this. There's an echo. Great, fine. Fickrel doing a thing. Cool. Like, I just couldn't get invested in. Like, these are characters we've been with for a while and, I like. So I just going back to sort of our core set of characters, I'm like, yeah, when we last left our heroes, yes, tell me what they're up to. What's going on with them?
Next time on
yeah, like I don't care what's going on with Spider. He's back. Why? Why is he back? He's just sitting there doing literally nothing. He hasn't done
to me yet.
He's done just as much as Ikora has. Poor Ikora just hands out aspects every 6 months or so and says, "Hey, remember me?" No,
yeah.
okay.
I think you've kind of hit the nail on the head with
failed miserably.
Yeah,
I think you've hit the nail on the head like that. It's the characters that we are kind of invested in that have the high stakes, that have these story beats that we want to kind of follow. We'd want to see something happen with Ikora that is kind of like a big story beat. Something. I mean, people loved the thing with Zavala, him losing his light, even though it was a little bit dodgy. Of like, he's just going to give up his ghost kind of thing in the final shape. And but we were invested in that, and the stories that kind of came along with him and Cade and Ikora, we followed it, and everybody said, that expansion was fantastic. And I think following the Drifter, following Eris, and following the Stranger even, and Anna, her sister, are the interesting beats to Destiny. You can bring in those other characters like the Misraxes and the Idos and things and build upon those. And I think it's when you have those characters and you're building into those stories, then people then say, I'm interested in that character and where that story's going. I think maybe they rushed the Nezarec story with Misrax to kind of get it out there and go, we've now cured him. Now we can go off to Reese, or, we can send Eramis off to Reese and sort that out. I feel that was kind of rushed, whereas this has kind of been building over time, being teased at us every couple of expansions, every kind of act of seasons and story things. So I think that's what makes it more interesting. And I think if they do that with like the Stranger, having kind of different story beats of time travel or going to different universes, or even if they are going to start doing time travel with the Stranger, that's when you could then start working in Saint 14 and Osiris and actually have people actually gravitate towards their story having implications and things and enjoying those stories. And I think that's what's been missing to keep people interested in the story, and then secondly go and do these activities that they kind of bring. I mean, if you look at it at the core of it, doing the Dreadnought is very much like doing the Coil, but it's very small compared to the Coil. It's just the 4 different areas, and you go around and you do those 3 different bosses, and then you're kind of out, and it's very quick. But then to know that that's going to open up even further later on down the line is quite exciting. And we've done these kind of loops of things before, but it seems to be a bit more engaging for the players, and I like that. And I really do like the way that we're going.
Yeah. Bring on things I care about, because I think this whole episode act thing. I mean, I'm not here in Destiny for the story. Like, that's not what keeps me coming back. But it definitely helps if it's something I at least care about, and if nothing else, it engages me more with people talking about the lore, people talking about the story. These whole episodes and acts, I'm like, I just don't really care about any of these characters. So it's it's not a vital piece to keep me here, but it's certainly a nice cherry on the top of going, oh, and here's people you actually care about. Here's an interesting story you might learn about. We're going to remember the Drifter exists. We still have him on payroll. He can record new lines for us.
Where do you guys think that the story could go with Eris?
I mean, I think that she is either a hive god, like what I've been saying the whole time. You brought up points about she might be Xivu or Wrath or whatever, right? But I'm thinking that is her throne world, and that is actually her. I don't think it's anybody else, but we will see. And I think that we're going to end up having to fight her because she's been corrupted as the hive god of war, I guess, and has tricked us thus far into thinking that she was just like back to normal. But in actuality, she's been scheming to do more war, right? Because
so you think that she's now turned to the dark side? Then she's now the hive god of war, and she's.
I think it's a possibility, yeah, because they have to feed their worm, right? And if she's the god of war, she must make war. And the way to do that right now is to trick us into starting another one, I would think.
But yeah, doing wars is either a wrath.
I thought Zebu Wrath was the trickster.
That's Savathun.
That is Savathun. You're right. I mean, but yeah, even if that is Zebu Wrath or whatever, right? I mean, if Eris's worm craves war, then even if Zebu Wrath is the Hive God of War, maybe we got two now. Who freaking knows?
And maybe that's why Oryx, the Echo, has maybe chosen Oryx to come back and create that kind of the three again. Because the three are there.
An Echo does make two of something at least, at a minimum.
Yeah, right? Maybe it is just Zebu versus Oryx. But why would the Echo choose him or choose the worm Akka, which is the dreadnought?
What is Oryx's worm? What does it crave? No, his worm. What is his worm?
I can't remember off the top of my head. But Akka, his worm is what he carved out the dreadnought, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I'm trying to think, like, whatever his worm craves might be the reason he's coming back, but I don't know what his worm craves to really dive into that.
And something that was really interesting that I was listening to another podcast about this was that Ikora's Hidden have gone down to the deep and got Oryx's like dead body, and they said that it's still emanating with like darkness and power, even though he's not alive. There's still kind of some thing there, and two of her Hidden spoke up, and one said, let's just burn it, let's get rid of it, and another one was like, no, we need to keep it and kind of research it. But it's now gone from the dungeon in the deep, even though we kind of can go back there every week and see it. But in the story, it's actually kind of gone, but only Ikora and her Hidden know where the body is. So are they keeping it? And is that going to kind of play a part in this? Is it kind of going to find his body again and recreate the Taken King? And do you think that's a lazy story if they then repurpose him again? Or do you actually enjoy that? Because I don't mind, him coming back again, but
I mean, it's kind of par for the course at this point. I say while looking sheepishly in the corner. They do. That's their thing. When they run out of something, they just copy something else and give it a fresh coat of paint. I mean, it's kind of their MO. I'm not a fan of it, honestly. I don't like just bringing the same character back over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. One particular Fallen comes to mind. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But
Star Wars. Look over here, guys. Star Wars. Star Wars.
Lightsabers.
Star Wars. Yeah. They're Star Wars.
Anyway.
I don't know. I'm like I get the whole cycles. I don't know. I hope that there's storytelling leading somewhere. At least again, in like the Light and Dark saga, there was an overall story. Maybe we're gonna forget about the character for like 6 years and then come back to him. I just don't know if like with the Oryx stuff. I'm like, is any of this going anywhere? Is any of this gonna matter? I don't know. If it does, maybe. But yeah, I don't know. Like I'm not. Oryx coming back, not coming back. I'm like, you died in a raid very, very many times, and then we found your dead body. Sure, come back, whatever. Do what you want to do. We had a big evil, a big evil crown as a vendor in a whole like part of a whole season. So, we're just making things up as we go along at this point. Why not? Bring Oryx back. Who cares?
I want something new.
But
unless he's coming back.
What happens if it's a new take on it, though?
What, like he comes back as an ally? I mean, we've seen how that works out. They're allies, asterisk, and then they turn on us. We got to kill him again. And again. And again. And again. And again.
I'm just ready for Eris Morn's just villain arc. I don't want you to be. Is she going to come kill us? Is she going to come get her revenge? Yeah, we'll find out. Just lean into your hive godliness and see what's going to happen.
I'm actually kind of on that page too. Like if she leans into the villain arc, obviously the Drifter feels some kind of way about her for whatever reason, right? So yeah, and then we come after her, and then we incite the wrath of the Drifter, and we can see what he does with all of his taken prisoners.
Shenanigans.
Because he's got all those prisoners that he uses for Gambit or whatever, right? He can just sick them on us, and maybe there's a taken prisoner we don't know of, and they can introduce. That would be interesting,
Oh, that just reminded me. Sorry, I was playing in the Dreadnought the other day, and we were talking about talking about the Star Wars and crossovers. Demon, they have missed a golden opportunity. I'm sitting here going, this whole season, it's about Drifter and Eris, and thus how he runs Gambit, and he needs Taken to fuel Gambit. I'm going, why, Bungie, did we not have a Ghostbusters crossover? It's so obvious. It just hit me. We did, but did we really? Because we're running around a place, and what could we be doing right now? We could be collecting Taken. We could be collecting Taken and trapping them and bringing them back for Drifter, for Gambit. Ghostbuster style, running around, grabbing Taken, capturing them, feeding them into Gambit to be murdered. Why are we not doing this? Why am I not running around capturing Taken ghosts to be fed into Gambit? Why is this not happening? Where's my Ghostbusters crossover where I'm ghostbusting Taken style? Come on.
Warlocks are Egon, and I'll be honest with you, that's the only name I know.
I was like, this would have been perfect. Capture them, feed them in, murder them. It's great. But
disappointed. No. That's the only name you know.
Are you though, Demon? Are you disappointed?
Yeah,
I am disappointed in him. Yeah.
Because I do like the Ghostbusters, but I was never that invested to remember their names years and years and years later. I'm a bad person, Demon. I know.
Well, I'm sure we'll have more excitement and things to talk about next week, but yeah, it's just for now. I think that's.
But have you watched any movies? Any videos?
I've got
Plunder the Booty. That's right.
Tons of links for you guys this week.
What should I be watching?
You want to go and watch My Name is Bife because he's got the Heresy story impressions, and he kind of goes over a few more ideas of what is actually happening with Eris. We then have Ebontis' Heresy Complete Guide for Act 1 with all the little knobs and trinkets that we're kind of collecting and what to do with them and how to do the things with them. Ebontis has kind of got you covered with that. Cheese Forever has 15 ways the Nether healing builds. So different weapons, different things that kind of are working and not working. Froggy 618157725 has the out of bounds for the Nether, a couple of out of bounds for those areas. 360 Gaming TV has the 6 Hall of Soul secrets, the 6 Trenchway secrets, the Mausoleum secret, and the Ravenous Wormspawn Week 1 guide. And I think there's 6 of those to collect. Paid to be Famous. Now he has the best Adamantite auto rifle gold roll guide. And he has the easy solo farm Nether Shinies and Adepts. So if you want to kind of just do it solo, he's got you covered for that. Destiny Fun Police this week goes over the new BXR Battler, which is the Redrix Historic, and this is a review for it. And this is the new comp weapon, but he says he's got a god roll, and I think they could just give him like a stone on a piece of string, and he would still use it, and it would be a god roll for him. But that's by the by. He's got a god roll. Cheese Forever has an insane Tormentor solo kill in the Nether glitch. Now, this is the main Tormentor that is the one that's overlooking Saturn. You can kind of go in his little bubble, but if you do it really slowly when you're approaching the little portal and don't move, he can't kill you. He doesn't notice you there, but you can shoot him. So you can do this solo, and you can do this on the expert version in that area and get some good rewards. I've tried it a couple of times. I think I'm moving too much, but once you've moved, it's too late. Then you have to go in the bubble and fight him over and over and over again. And you either die and be sent back to orbit, or you use up all your revives down to the last one. You kill him, and then you get your rewards.
So, or you can just not be bad, dude. What?
Look, he doesn't like all your
revives.
He doesn't like you.
I mean,
anyway.
That's probably true, but
yeah.
I also don't use up hardly any revives when I fight him either.
Now,
I'll tell you how later. Go ahead.
Fallout Plays this week has the Vault of Glass farm guide, and This is using the Lord of Wolves and going to the Templar and just farming that over and over and over again for the red borders. Now, for some reason, Vault of Glass was put into the rotation this week as one of the featured raids, and then they reverted also back to do Last Wish. So Last Wish was the last week of Revenant, and it's also the first week of Heresy. So they've kind of done that. And also, I think because we've got a new dungeon, there's also a different rotation for the dungeons now, because they've changed how those are kind of being synced up. And I don't know them 100%. So Vault of Glass should be coming back in the rotations if it's the 2 raids and 2 dungeons each week in about week 4, I think. But we'll let you know as we get kind of closer to that. So there is a farming guide out there that Fallout Plays has done. Go and check that out. It's really worth kind of doing.
Yeah, and that's one thing Bungie did mention this week about, there's been something emanating from the Vault of Glass. Basically, it's hey, those weapons are farmable. We're going to make it a featured raid so you can go farm it, which I was going to put in the roundup, but I figured by the time people hear this, it was over. So you either farmed it or you didn't. Yeah. But that was sort of their story-ish reason going, oh, something is happening. Let's make it a feature raid so you can go farm all those weapons out.
Yeah, I wish we'd have known that last week, because I would have liked to have told people last week. And then we have the Fallout Plays Sundered Doctrine Dungeon Complete Guide, the Scarrow 9, both Sundered Doctrine Dungeons Hidden Chests, and from Donnie, he sent me the link this week from the Game Post. If you want to read the walkthrough, there's a walkthrough from the Game Post of the Sundered Doctrine Dungeon. And then if you want to, you can do what I did this week, and I was just using checkpoints to go into the Vault of Glass and open up the chests, because you can get a checkpoint that's just after the Templar, which means you can then mantle your way back up to the entrance to go and get the chest by the entrance. You can also then get the hidden chest on the way, if you know the hidden route, and then you can come back down into the Gorgon maze, get the one in the Gorgon maze, and then go ahead through down, jump over the floating, disappearing rocks to get to the other hidden chest before you go into do Atheon. So there's like 4 chests that you can get with not actually doing anything in the raid. And if you want to do that, I have the Guardian Down bot for the raid checkpoints on Twitch. And then Tachyon Ghost also sent me a link this week. If you're looking for the Icebreaker Catalyst, Twitch has a link for the Icebreaker Catty. So again, thank you to Tachyon Ghost for that. And that'll be in the show notes. So if you've got your Icebreaker from doing the Vespers host and you just need the Catalyst, there's a link to kind of do one of these bots. And all it is kind of, you go onto the Twitch link, you put in, I think it's exclamation mark, and then you put what you want to kind of do. So with like the Vault of Glass, I think it was exclamation Q to Vault of Glass, and I wanted to do post Templar on normal, and then you do hashtag your name, your Bungie name. So mine's Night Demon hashtag 2693, I believe, and then it puts you in a queue, and then you can then check on your position in the queue, 5-10 minutes and whatever. It doesn't actually flash up on your screen when you've been invited. It goes into, if you look on the tabs and tab across to where your friends lists are and your clans are, there's invites, and it will just kind of flash that there's been an invite sent to you. Now, I did do it a couple of times, and one of them I clicked on, and I thought I was queuing into doing the Golgroth maze, and it sent me to the Vault of Glass checkpoint. And I was like, okay, I'll do this one first, because that's good, because I can get raid spoils and red borders out of it. So that was quite cool. So sometimes they're not the checkpoint that you wanted, but sometimes they are, because the second time I did it, it took me to the Golgroth checkpoint. So yeah, there's that.
So yeah, the checkpoint you deserve.
That's all my my videos this week. I'm guessing you guys have probably got some to share as well, or maybe not. Or have I done too many?
I basically took the Fallout route of what should I be doing in this and watched his guide on how to do things. And beyond that, I've basically just been wandering around going, there will be 1,000 dungeon guides out when the dungeon drops, and I'm just been enjoying playing the game. So yeah, I basically watched largely the same things, and Dado's, I've been watching Dado's like recap videos and stuff, but those, everybody knows how to find Dado at this point. He doesn't need our extra love. But yeah, I haven't watched much else besides that. I've just been playing more. We did, I guess, one thing that I don't know when this happened, but I saw note of it. Chris Proctor has left Bungie.
Yes,
who is our who basically was our lead designer in weapons, has left Bungie after 5 years. And instead of reading from articles, apparently, one of them linked to his LinkedIn post from 3 days ago, where he says, working at Bungie is the job of a lifetime. Sandbox design even more so, let alone owning Destiny weapons for 5 years and ending up the sandbox craft lead at a studio with a legendary grasp of core gameplay. It's been a humbling experience, and at the time of biggest growth in my career, and I reached 23 years in games, 20 as a designer this year. I can't recommend Bungie highly enough as the place to do amazing work with some of the most skilled game devs in the industry. Well, today I did something I didn't think would ever happen. I resigned from Bungie. Okay, that's a dramatization. I resigned in December, but today was my last day. In 2 weeks, I'll be living in another country, and in 4 weeks, I'll post an update from a new role. Uprooting after 12 years in the USA is huge. International moves are a pain in the butt, and I'm sad to be leaving Bungie, but it's an exciting time. He didn't say but yeah, so he left Bungie and is going international to do something. But that was,
and I've heard people worry about this. Yeah, people getting worried about this. But what you've got to think about is he's left Mercules there. Mercules from the Massive Breakdowns podcast that is so weapon orientated. This man has put like life, blood, and sweat into doing a podcast, breaking down weapons for years before he even got a job at Bungie. And then the weapons that he's been creating at Bungie have just been phenomenal. So I wouldn't, I wouldn't bet against him actually getting Chris's old, position and being the guy that is kind of developing these weapons and kind of making sure that the uniqueness of these weapons stays, Bungie.
Making sure Respawn has something to chase. And I mean, there's been tons. Yeah, there've been a lot of people said, and he was also obviously with Mercules. Chris Proctor was the one who was on Massive Breakdowns. Has been on, I think, PvE. Has been on various podcasts as the weapon lead. So he's sort of been a very, public face of Bungie through all of this stuff too, to talk about weapons and tease things and talk about the process. So but he's I saw that pop up in feeds this week. It's like, oh, that's a name I know, and it wasn't. I was like, oh, please don't tell me it's something bad has happened. It's like, no, been doing this for 20 years, stepping away, doing something else. So I'll be curious to see where he lands. But I think, it's, he's the lead of a team, but like you said, Mercules is there, and also the rest of the weapons team. There's, plenty of people there doing designs on these weapons, building us the things that we're shooting every day. So just another, notable name moving on, but at least it's not like, hey, we've just decided to cut a whole bunch more people because we could. So we'll see where we go. But I figure we'd be remiss if we made it through the whole show without at least mentioning, that's a thing.
Well, the thing that I wanted to mention is, so Plunder the Booty, a guy that we've mentioned many times because, honestly, guy deserves it. I tried a bunch of these, quote, healing builds on Hunters. Some of them did okay. None of them I was really impressed with, mostly because a lot of the healing doesn't work. But there's one thing
that doesn't work in the Nether.
Asterisk.
In the Nether, yes, in the Nether. Let me be specific.
Doesn't work in the place where the healing is flat out broken right now.
Yeah. But there was a build I found that has no inherent healing, and it's the best build that I've been using for the Hunter for the Nether. All right. So if you go to Plunder the Booty, there's a video. It's the second, not the newest one, but the one right behind that. It's Absurd Clone Army, and it's a Hunter build, right? So the whole premise is you're actually seriously, unironically using Radiant Dance Machines as an exotic out of PvP on purpose, right? So the idea is Radiant Dance Machines have been changed. You no longer just dodge once and they can just dodge like 4 more times, right? No. Instead, what you do is primary weapon kills grant you dodge charges up to 3. Okay? And with the changes to how our kit works, now whenever you proc Ascension, you also get to proc your other dodge abilities, like, Threaded Spectre, for an example. So you jump in the air, you pop Ascension, Now you have your Threaded Spectre in the air. And what this does is now the boss and all the other enemies are targeting the Threaded Spectre, to which you can have up to 3 of them just kind of hanging out at once. And if they're shooting it, they're not shooting you, right? So always a good thing. So you can't heal, which you don't have the damage for, right? Now, that being said, the best pairing to use with it is Kvostov, because Kvostov jumps to a bunch of different people, kills a bunch of different people, so you can get multiple primary weapon kills with just the Kvostov, right? I'm sorry, kinetic. I keep saying primary, I meant kinetic. My bad. But yeah, it is primary kills of any element. But I've been using Kvostov, like I said, because you can get multiple at once, right? Anyway, so you get 3 dodge stacks. You can pop 3 clones. The clones proc Ascension, which sends out Jolt to a bunch of enemies around you. Then they have the arc debuff. Now you have your clone in the air. They're shooting at the clone. You could also pop the clone on the ground, which when it pops, it creates an explosion, and then it's got threadling, so that's more damage if you want to go that route. But putting in the air makes it easiest because it's harder for them to kill it while it's in the air, and that's more time it's alive, and they're not shooting you. So again, no inherent healing in this build, and it's the best build that I've been using on the higher tier Nether runs that I've been doing. And if you really want to heal, swap out Kvostov for Crimson, and there's your heal, right? So that is what it is. That's my Plunder the Booty build. For all you hunters that have been struggling in the Nether, both regular mode and hard mode, this build is the better way to go. 100%. I recommend it.
Ditto for his build with the bolt charges of the Titan that I've not yet put together, but I played with 2 people that had, and you can just kind of set up with your barricade and go, I'm going to stand here and you can't touch me, and I'm going to rain lightning down upon you. So, yeah.
Is that the one where you stand behind the barricade and you get volt charges?
Yep.
Or yeah, Michael was using that last night.
Yeah, just it's basically I'm going to stand and deliver.
Mm-hmm.
Move, dodge, worry about being shot? No. I'm just going to stand here and dare you to shoot me. Yeah, but he's back making builds. He's done it, and he's done some for the Warlock too. The Warlocks are just nutty with Arc. It's stupid. That new Warlock, buddy that's a Tesla coil that you can throw out and go, no, this is where I live now. You can't be here anymore. That thing's ridiculous.
Is it really good?
It's really good. It's fun.
Yeah, like they don't have enough buddies, right? Goodness gracious.
Warlock needs friends. All the friends.
Because there's not many people that play the Warlock.
Hey, gotta have friends one way or the other. Even if you have to bring them with you.
Yeah.
Warlocks are wonderful. You know who else is wonderful?
Me.
Those lovely patrons.
You're wonderful. Demons wonderful. Star Wars wonderful. Star Trek wonderful. Our lovely patrons like Zep Orbit and Renard Calant, who can't be threatened with a good time. And we know we've tried. We've tried really hard, and it can't be done. Our Otter Dance Strip of the Scarlet Cam dedicated to M64. Our grenade throwers, our lovely grenade throwers. Feral, Golden God 1562, Noble, Fire Squad 1688, and the man Conan from Texas. Lovely human beings. And Gravy Jeff holding down with Deacon's Day 1 raid team. He tried hard. He really did. I saw that solo run going. He was so close to the world's first, but didn't quite get there. That's okay. Because our lovely patrons are wonderful, spectacular people who've gone to patreon.com/TTH and said, we like what you do. Here's some money. Keep doing it. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. You appreciate us. And I appreciate that we've reached the end. So thank you for joining us. Your Titans, your Peroty, Night Demon, your Hunters, no one responds to real life.
Boy.
We are on YouTube. Go there and get all the things. All the things are there. All the things up to and including the podcast, where you can find wherever you get your podcasts. You can email the show, twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com. On YouTube, you can find every new episode, every weekly update video, every live stream. Night Demon works very hard trying to guess what Bungie is going to do next. Reward him with your likes and your follows and your comments. twotitansandahunter.com is where we put all the links to all the videos we talk about, all the links we mentioned, or just, the things we mentioned that, it'd be nice if we could send you there and you too could read or see or build what we're building. twotitansandahunter.com. We'll get you there. Patreon.com/TTH are our lovely patrons. Coffee.com/twotitansandahunter. That's ko-fi.com. If you want, a more casual encounter and say, Night Demon works hard, here's some coffee or tea Or, here's some food that he can throw into his massive children and have them fight over it. Twitch.tv/no one responds in real life for the live show when he decides to stream. And when he doesn't decide to stream, then he's not there. Twitch.tv/2 Titans and a Hunter because, I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you, because it also exists. Do we use it? Sometimes. Only one way to find out. Go there and subscribe. Follow along. And we've come to the end. We've covered all the things. We've talked about all the updates. And so Bungie's just waiting to hit publish on something now that is going to drop as soon as we're finished. So, Respawn, say goodbye, and we may have already lost Demon. He is left for the forest.
Deuces.
Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast.
Let's talk about Heresy, baby. Let's talk about all the good things that. No.